We're live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicinda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Ooh, I can't breathe right now. Like that's woo.
Oof.
I usually got 3 more lines in me before I have to take a breath. This is our first stream in a minute because of PAX and then some post-PAX COVID, which is also why I'm having a hard time breathing a little bit. Our hope and desire here at Plus One EXP is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games and to help great players find amazing designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but lots of times that's just by sitting down with the designer, who tonight is me. So I will be running us through my my holiday game, the first game I ever put up on itch.io, and that is the Santa-Cide Squad. It's 1 part Suicide Squad, 1 part Christmas claymation movie, and 1 part The Italian Job. You're playing as polar denizens who are trying to save Christmas and work themselves off the naughty list in the process. There are 2 stats, naughty and nice. It is a Honey Heist inspired game, so there's a number of mechanics that you can employ to do that. But let's meet some of our players, and then we'll meet your characters shortly. But let's go ahead and just work around from the audience's point of view, starting with Tinsel. That's Sarah. Go ahead and lead us off.
Hi, yeah, I'm OsirixFranco. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the places at OsirixFranco. I do a variety of ttrpg content across different communities, TPK roleplay, Nat 20, Critical Misses, and Neon Lights roleplay. I GM'd a whole thing that you can watch on YouTube from start to finish, The Bard's Refrain. You can find that on TPK Roleplay's YouTube channel, and a variety of fun one-shots such as the Swift and Vicious part 1 and 2. The second one was running the incredible Keegan EXE's Renegades and Racers, which was a hoot and a holler and very, very, very much fun. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. And we should mention, though the Christmas spirit is normally the specter haunting all of us this time of year, on this stream it's Keegan. Keegan's resting spectral form is haunting us all on this stream. They are not feeling well. Speaking of horrible diseases, they have the same one and just caught it. So keep them in your thoughts. Help take care of them. They were going to play tonight with us, but had to bow out, which means that we have with us our Alex Murray, one of my top 26 favorite Alex Murrays that there are out there. Alex, tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online.
Hello, I'm R. Alex Murray. I'm a actor, comedian, podcaster, jack of many nonsenses, based in Brooklyn, New York. I'm at R. Alex Murray on all the bullshits. Let's just get us into that R rating right there. TikTok, Twitter, whatever, being weird. I'm also the artistic director of the Missing Sock Podcast Network. We got a bunch of goofy, weird shows for you tabletop nerds. We've got one called The Flora's Dungeon, which is a monthly one-shot inspired by historic events. It's very goofy, run by my friend Alex Stein. And then if you want to listen to me go slowly mad, it's getting faster and faster. I'm the host of a podcast called Child's Play, where we're listening to the entire Kids Bop discography. And y'all, that is a hard thing to do. Yeah, excited to be here because it was there, man. Sometimes when you see a mountain, you just gotta fucking climb it. And the closer you get to the top, the more children there are. And they just released an album of 90s songs. After we're done with this, I'm gonna get real high and listen to children sing Unbelievable and Bop.
I just heard the Kids Bop Wop, which is wings and pizza. And
no,
it go hard. Like, surprisingly, it go hard.
Ours is wet and splashy, and it's better. Find that one on Spotify or wherever.
Was a chart topper most requested in Europe for a minute last year, I think.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, right.
Played on Radio 1 Europe. Ridiculous. But anyway, if you'd like to hear that absolute abomination, yeah, we're having fun.
Popping over to your cousin, we've got another Claus with us, but the Noir Enigma. Noir, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Hello, little boys and girls. No, I'm not. Hi, everybody. No, you can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. But that's it. Now there is no longer Noir. There's only the Claus.
Look at that big empty lap. Nobody wants to get anywhere near that lap.
Oh.
No.
You don't come to the lap comes to you.
We next, last but certainly not least, we've got Bright Dystopia. Clement, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Hi, everybody. My name is Bright. You can find me on all forms of social media at Bright Dystopia. I'm a Jasper's Game Day ambassador, pro GM for Magpie Games, and voiceover actor. And I'm excited for this. This is gonna be top shelf for sure.
I mean, it's not going to be top shelf.
It's really not. This is well
like,
whiskey.
It's gonna be like top shelf if like somebody put like the fucking the Captain Morgan private stock accidentally on like the top shelf.
Like, let's put this
It was
up.
someone's first day. They're like, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah. It's like somebody accidentally like left a bottle of Kraken on the top shelf. And
this is the nice stuff I drink at home, right? And so, 100%. Can't wait till Top Shelf is back middle of January. And so I think we're gonna try to get Mads on to run something next week. It'll be the only stream we probably do because I'm just taking it easy the rest of the year. With that said, you guys have all rolled up characters. I rolled up some things and don't remember what they are right now for the adventure, but I'll write them down in just a second while we're doing some character intros also too. If you've never played a Honey Heist game before, they're incredibly easy. Anytime you succeed in one of your two stats, that stat gets a little bit better and the other one moves down a little bit. And the goal is basically to try to navigate staying between those two things. Otherwise, something crazy happens. People are very curious about what the Krampus unit is. I think we'll get to that in just 1 second. But with that said, does anybody have any questions before we start? Otherwise, we're going to talk safety tools and jump into it.
Nope. Let's do it.
All right, so we always use safety tools here on the channel. We use lines, veils, and the X card unless the system suggests another set of tools. They're perfectly great for this one. We always have a strong line against sexual violence and any sort of against sexual violence and any sort of sexual coercion. With that said, we like to open it up to what other things are important to our players. So are there any things that you guys want to add lines, which means they may happen in the world of our game, but don't happen in our game itself? Veils, which means they can happen in the game but are handled in a specific way, or just remember the X card is always there to hit pause whenever there's confusion, lack of clarity, to say I don't like that, let's put that on this list and then move forward in a different direction. Anything we want to add to those lines or veils?
Nope. Generally speaking, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Timothy Dalton. So if he comes up, if my character could just not be in the room when that
Hold
happens,
on, I got to cross.
What the fuck? I mean, no, that's fair.
Off the list. No. Okay, hold on. I got to rewrite the entire thing.
Like, you think you know a person and then they...
He's the worst Bond. I'm sorry. He knows what he did.
Mr. Rochester.
It turned out it was Timothy Dalton the entire time.
It's a bad time to bring up tonight's sponsor, which is Timothy Dalton.
He took a sudden interest in APs, and now you've ruined it.
So sorry, Timothy Dalton. I'll see myself out.
That's Sir Timothy Dalton to you, ma'am.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything that they want to add or mention? All right. Just a reminder out there to everybody who's watching, if you see our players eating or drinking or having to get up for a second, they're normal human beings, and that's a normal thing to have to do. So get over it, because we're really glad to have them here to play a fun game with us tonight, and we think we should normalize bodily functions. And so with that said, we're going to dive in. We kind of see a scene, kind of zooming in on from a global perspective, and closer and closer and closer to the North Pole. until we get to the North Pole and the Santa's Village region. Village is an incredible misnomer. Santa's Village takes most of the Arctic Circle, with a lot of the workshop spaces rimming the outer area of the circle, and a humongous launch pad set in the distance far, far away that helps launch Santa at hyperspace speeds on his trip around the globe through time and space. With that said, y'all are all normally scattered around the village in numerous different places, but we zoom in further and further, and we see kind of what looks like a mix between an office and a locker room overlooking a big production floor. This is a space obviously designed for efficiency. It's really two married ideas. There's a big door at the long time. More than anything, it almost gives you the impression of a New York City police holding cell, where you see kind of this big desk at the back end, a number of uncomfortable chairs aligned, and some desks scattered around. Nobody's at those desks right now, but if you look out through that big window, we see the hustle and bustle of people, since this is December 23rd, trying to get everything prepped last minute to get all the toys ready to get loaded onto the sleigh and go out. As we pan across, we're going to see each of your characters. You can describe them as we see them kind of sitting in this space, but then you're also going to flash back to tell us, introduce them a little bit more and tell us what landed them on the naughty list, or hovering on the edge of the naughty list. At the far end, we see kind of a matronly woman, very, very well put together. Looks to be in her maybe late 40s, maybe early 50s. Hair that probably was red at one point, but has faded into a beautiful snow white, sternly looking across at all of you, with a door behind her that just says "the big man" on the outside of it. So something has landed you here in trouble. Let's kind of pace across and meet your characters and find out what landed them here. Let's go in reverse order and start with Snowbell the bear. Snowbell, tell us a little bit about who you are, what people see as the camera pans to you, and then give us that flashback scene that lets us know how you ended up here.
Sure. Snowbell is a 825-pound polar bear. As the camera pans over to her, you will see a long snout, haggard hair, kind of just patchy and matted down all over her. She sleeps most of the time in the snow outside of the workshop. Across on her chest is a little golden badge that reads Krampus, ID number 122425. Her ID number for the Krampus unit, which stands for Covert Recovery and Managed Procurement of Unsavory Subteens. She is the naughty children's detection and recovery system for the ill-fated Krampus department. The moment that got her landed in here is she's kind of bounced around a few departments here in the North Pole. At one point, she was stealth on the shelf, just a roving polar bear to dissuade any onlookers or explorers or nearby spelunkers or scientists looking to, discover what may be on the North Pole that they haven't found on the South Pole, and whatever things may have been going on in there. She was sent to dissuade people from finding the North Pole after a mishap with one particular scientist who may have lost a limb or two. She was moved over to Polar Security, where she watched the toll for inbound elves and outbound elves for the workshop. A disagreement with another elf who, again, may now be on workers' comp for the workshop, landed her here at the Covert Recovery and Management Procurement of Unsavory Subteens, where she is closely monitored and given less of a loose leash for the job that she now performs.
Yeah, people say that the Krampus unit really is a holdover from a bygone era, like that it doesn't see a lot of action nowadays. It's just kind of a place where they shuffle some of their problematic. Has that been Snowbell's experience, or is Snowbell fully bought into the vision of what the Krampus unit stands for?
As Snowbell interacts with other people, you'll find that she is an often misunderstood individual, but that she still does a very good job of defending the effectiveness of having a Krampus squad.
Awesome.
At the North Pole.
Excellent. Let's meet our other Claus next. So Vincent, tell us about tell us what we see as we kind of see the camera pan over to covering Vincent Claus. That drink just caused the entire thing to short out for a second, then come back. It was excellent.
I'm aware.
We saw behind the beard in that moment.
I can't maintain the jolly, but you'll understand why in just a second. One moment.
And I'm sorry I misspelled Snowbell on the overlay. My apologies to Snowbell and to Bright. But Vincent, tell us a little bit about what landed you here hovering on the edge of the naughty list.
Well, my name is Vincent Claus. What got me put on the edge of the naughty list is when I first joined the force, I was partnered with Ramirez, the best damn stealth on the shelf that there was. I'd just come out of boot camp where I served with my friends. You may have heard of them. One of them is named Buzz and the other is named Woody. They had a problem with this boy named Sid. I thought that they could handle it, but it got a little too intense. They suffered a great deal, and I had to watch it happen. Ramirez couldn't sit and watch, and Sid killed my partner. And so, in retaliation, I may have left a Snickers bar in his dog's bowl. Apparently, that is not in keeping with the holiday spirit. But that is fine. I do my best to honor Ramirez every day, but that little fucker is still out there alive working as a garbage man, and I will have my revenge in this life or the next. But that is my story.
I do have to ask, as a minor Claus, what is Vincent's relationship like with Mrs. Claus, who you see before you, but also with the big man?
Oh, the big man. Oh, you must be talking about Christopher. All right, Dick, that one. It's easy to stay jolly when you're not in the shit. He sits there on his ivory tower, but we're the ones seeing what the kids are doing, and it's horrendous. I have seen things that have stolen away my innocence. And as for Mrs. Claus, she thick though.
There's one more Claus I want to ask you about in a second, but let's meet them first. Let's meet Snitter Claus.
Hey, as the camera pans over, it goes down to just like a whole bunch of like two huge dirty combat boots surrounded by just like bric-a-brac, wires and screws and some wood shavings. And it pans up over like just your standard Santa suit, but like really bedraggled. Like imagine it's the Santa suit that Howard Hughes would like be seen in, right? He looks rough. And it finally closes in on like a wide-eyed, ratty, red-bearded, strung-out looking face of Snitter Claus. Snitter, who's Santa's like second or third cousin. No one's really sure, but all they do know is that he used to be the head of the toy making division. Man, he could make them. You could give him anything. Years ago, somebody walked in and just handed him some wood and a string. Bam, yo-yo. He made it. Somebody just was like, what do we do with this metal? And he twisted it up and was like, it walks downstairs. Slinky. Bam. He made it. They just had a whole bunch of like pantyhose lying around one year. Bam, Cabbage Patch Kids. He made it. But the pressure of having to come up with a banger holiday toy year after year after year finally cracked Snitter about 2006. my bad, about 1996, when he walked out, held aloft a giggling red Muppet that laughed even harder when you tickled it and said, "I've done it. I've made the greatest toy that anyone will ever see." And they thought, "Hey, that's enough for you, Snitter," and locked him away in a special workshop far below the main workshop where he bangs out toys, and, they let him come up and talk to the other nice kids every once in a while. And he is on the naughty list this year because he managed to sneak in, "Hey, you guys, that cactus that everybody's buying that sings and screams about how much it loves cocaine in Swedish?" Yeah, that was Snitter. Snitter busted that one out and managed to get it on the assembly line, and nobody is super duper happy about it. He's real proud of himself, though.
Awesome. What is your relationship like with the big man and with Mrs. Claus?
Oh, Santa, we see him at like Thanksgiving and Easter for the big meals. I don't know. He's real proud of himself. I'm just worried about getting things done, Miss Claus is like, I think Mrs. Claus like really feels sorry for Snitter and always has. She's the like, oh man, I'm trying to think of, I don't know, whatever. She's the unattainable ingenue, she's the Lily Potter to my Severus Snape. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as Vincent so aptly put, she's thick though.
Thick.
She wild thick though with 8 C's.
Awesome. And then just what we can let this emerge and play, but do Vincent or Snitter have any relationship tidbits? Like, do we see a flashback scene with the two of them that kind of exemplify their feelings about each other?
I did roll for drunk. I feel like we would get along at like Claus family reunions.
I feel like we just talk shit about Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
We're doing a number, like we're like look around the like fake happy Claus like reunion table, and I'm like, "You want to get out of here and do a number?"
Yeah,
and like so we go fucking burn one down with Rudolph while everybody else is jerking themselves off about how wholesome they are.
It's the scene of y'all in the background of the family like event where you're getting more and more drunk and toasted. Then I'll flash outside where you're burning one down with Rudolph. Then a flashback inside where like kids are throwing things at you as you're passed out, like in front of the fireplace.
I got some really potent mistletoe. This shit will put you on your ass.
Hell yeah, let's part the veil, man.
Awesome. And then last but certainly not least, we've got this is our first actual play of this game where we only have one elf. But I'm super excited about the elf we have, and that's Tinsel. Tinsel, tell us a little bit about what we see as the camera pans over and maybe down. I don't know.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the moral quandary of what it means to be naughty or nice. Is they didn't lie about where they put the gun, but they definitely lied about who they shot it with. Naughty or nice? Naughty or nice? Naughty or nice? Naughty or nice? I'm Tinsel. I'm Tinsel. I come from a long line of snappers. Snaps. Oh, no. Okay, snap. And I work in the list department, determining who gets what, and if they've been naughty or nice. I provide the big man with a report that talks about what I think. But the mental strain of trying to balance humanity's endless potential for good and bad. Do you hear that singing? Anyways, so I'm on the naughty list because I stole a drumstick from a drummer drumming that passed by and tried to stab myself in the ear. I wanted the sounds to stop, and it was distressing for the other elves on the floor. So I've been asked to take a leave of absence to kind of sort through my shit. Oh, sorry, that's definitely naughty. Let me mark that down.
And FYI, people will oftentimes at some point in this game ask me, is this a naughty thing or a nice thing? And it's always fun to talk through the moral implications of an action. But if at any point you feel like you've done a naughty thing or a nice thing, you can feel free to adjust your stats accordingly. Even if I didn't ask you for a role, if you're like, that was a naughty thing, feel free. If you're like, that's a nice thing, just shout it out. Let me know. But I'm not a cop. I am.
You have to tell us if you are. That's the law.
I am, however,
What?
a
Cops?
proponent of unbridled capitalism as the big man himself. And so you all of a sudden, like, you hear a buzzer on Mrs. Claus' desk and says, "Send them in." And she kind of gathers herself up to her full height. Says, "He'll see you now." The door behind her kind of magically pops
He was
open.
watching me last night while I was sleeping, the big pervert.
And you're all ushered into the big man's office.
Chris Kringle, you son of a bitch.
What's up, guys?
That's definitely naughty. That's naughty. That's funny.
You say as the chair swivels around, and all of a sudden there's a not superimposing and not who you were expecting to see elf standing there. Standing on top of the chair, he's got on a dentist coat, and it says Dr. Hermie DDS on it. And then he like flips it over, and it says Dr. Hermie Special Equipment on the outside. And he says, "Welcome. Santa has to be on site right now, preparing for launch. However, I've been asked to play you this short instructional video." And all of a sudden, on a large screen behind the desks, you see, is it on? All right. So we've got a problem. I'm out here at the launch site. It's happening. I mean, I've got to take off in less than 24 hours, but there's a problem. Someone has stolen my stocking cap of stealth. Without it, there's a chance that I'll get caught ruining people's faith in Christmas because my very existence will get proven. And I know we always debate, will that cause it to increase belief or will that cause a decrease? There's no way for us to know. And Christmas
no way to know.
science says
Humans
it's
are
best
horrible.
not to find out. So with that said, I'm going to need y'all to take the train out here. It's making the rounds. It's picking up the last few things and it's delivering it. We've locked down the entirety of Christmas Village. The only way out is on this sleigh, and we suspect that the person who has stolen this stocking cap is going to be on the train as well, trying to make it to the sleigh so that they can escape while I am on my route. You have until it gets here to capture them, or else we might have to cancel Christmas this year. With that said, this message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1. And all of a sudden you just see a fizzling and a burning. But it's just on the screen, like it's just like industrial smoke and magic, and then you see like Santa go, did that work? Is that all right? We're good? Cool. And then it just clicks off. And Hermie turns back to you. He's like, I told him it wasn't going to destruct. I don't understand why he wouldn't listen. But yeah, like we need you to go to the train. It's taking off in 3 hours. You've got 3 hours to come up with a plan, make it to the train, and then you'll have to find the person who's stolen the stocking cap before they get there. We don't know how they got in. We don't know how they got out. But if there's anything you need, feel free to let me know. If y'all want right now. Players, we can illustrate, like there's just a short kind of space of what we see you each doing. If you want to do something nice at this point to bump up your nice a little bit, or do something naughty at this point, this is an excellent time to just to name something you're doing to prepare yourself for this. But we would love to see just a quick montage of how the team is preparing themselves for this mission as they get ready to board the Arctic Express to head up to the launch site.
Yeah, I'll go first. Tinsel will walk over to the nearest wall, put a hand on it, and point at like the brick, and just, now listen here, Tinsel. This is a good opportunity. This is a good opportunity to get back on the floor, okay? And you're gonna do this. You're gonna be amazing, okay? And then she's gonna pull out like a piece of chalk and like scratch like a smiley face onto the wall, and like give herself like a pep talk of like, we've got this. We're gonna make the Snap family proud. Here we go. And it's going to then turn around and tell everyone else along the same lines. So, I believe in you, and I think you're going to do great. in an attempt to make everyone feel a little bit nicer about themselves.
Awesome. Go ahead and take a point in nice. I think it sounds like you want, if you want to, and take 1 point out of naughty.
Done.
How do we see people preparing?
So Vincent, he is going to just open up his briefcase and start assembling his snowball launcher. He calls it mistletoe. And just putting it together, smoking a cigar. And when Snap comes over to give the motivational speech, just points and goes, "I'm not doing this for Santa. I'm doing it for Ramirez."
Is that nice? Nice or naughty? Nice or naughty? Still nice. Still nice. Still counts. Still counts.
Oh.
So
I can make it simple for you. Fuck Santa.
So you want? Are you wanting to take a point in naughty?
That might make you right back on the nice list.
From what I've heard from Mrs. Claus, he does not.
Pinky pervert.
So we see kind of the click clack, like deconstructing,
Why
reconstructing, scoop of the snowball launcher. We zoom in and see mistletoe written, like engraved along the stock. Do you want to take a point in naughty? You want to just stay
I'll
straight
take a
up?
point in naughty. I'm
All
a
right, so
naughty boy.
push naughty up one, the other one down one. Anybody else got any prep they want to do?
Snowbell's gonna head over to the workshop armory and hold up her badge and just start barking things at the other elves and start drawing like pictures of like maybe two similarly shaped Glocks, and she would like "Merry Christmas" on the sides and just and gives them this long diatribe with blueprints, schematics, but because Snowbell is hard to understand, I think she walks out with like maybe 2 candy canes and like holsters.
Yeah, so weird weapon, like high-powered weaponry is totally an option. It's just always Christmas themed. So tell me, I love the idea of it being candy canes. So is this just 2 candy canes that like shoot hardened spikes of candy out the end of it? Is one says Merry, one says Christmas?
Yeah, well, so the candy canes have "Merry Christmas" written on the side, but much worse. They shoot out hardened hollow point candy corn.
The unholy fusion of Halloween and Christmas technology with each other.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Excellent. You trying to take a point in naughty or staying flat?
Snowbell's MO is typically naughty first and let God sort them out. And then, yeah.
Sounds good.
So we're going full naughty.
Awesome. And then Snitter, what do we see?
Snitter stands up. Snitter's been just like he's had a jack-in-the-box this whole time that he's just like furiously screwing on and doing something to. Nobody's quite sure. There's like, you see like just wires come out of it and then wires go back in. And he pops up and he goes, I just gotta go downstairs really quick. There's a drawer I need to just grab some stuff from. And he runs back to his workshop and he looks around and opens up the drawer on his desk that just says naughty, and he pulls out opens it up, and he pulls out a couple things. There's just a little flask that's just labeled chimney lube, and then a little bag of white powder that just says snow with finger quotes on it.
Amazing.
And then a big bag of something called reindeer nip. He sticks that in his just tucks that into his thing, and then just like a little sheet of paper that looks real unassuming, and it just says Northern Lights on it. And so he tucks that away and he's like, yeah, this ought to get us there. And comes running back up, just like screwing again away at his whatever he is doing with this whatever he is fashioning into his jack-in-the-box.
Awesome. So we see, in addition to all those things, we see like the classic, like Hermie pointing at the schematic of this train to you, explaining what all the different train cars are, everything you can expect to find inside of them, whether you're paying attention or not. probably not. Totally up to you.
Hermie has to slap Tinsel's hand like away from the map like multiple times, and she's like,
Yeah.
ah.
As they explain how simple and ideal this entire process is going to go, because certainly nothing will go wrong along the way, and kind of explaining it all to you. Again, you can always flash back to this moment to narrate something. You can feel free to use flashbacks anytime you want to bump that naughty stat or establish that you did something in advance. You can 100% do that, or you can do nice things to bump your cheer. But with that said, the next scene we flash to is
Could I just point of order? Sorry, really quickly.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that Snitter gets real into that presentation.
Yeah.
Like he puts his the only time during this thing we see him put his thing down, and he's just like very quietly, and you just watch his eyes go like you can see the math in his head.
So here's what I have to
committing the
ask.
whole schematic to memory.
Right. Here's what I have to ask.
Yes.
As we're doing this, right? Like as everybody's going to see the explanation in their mind's eye, what does Snitter look like to himself as opposed to everybody else? Like as they're going through the future mental exploration of this activity, in Snitter's mind, what is Snitter seeing?
Yeah, like in Snitter's mind, it's a like Kevin McAllister-esque like hand-drawn schematic of the train, and like everybody else on it is like a crayon drawn stick figure. Like it's just a green person with a hat for an elf, and like a white circle with like 4 legs for the bear. And then he is drawn like I mean like just like an overly horny but like quite well drawn with a lot of depth, but like kind of hot. Okay, in his head, he looks like the lead singer for My Chemical Romance, but with a Santa suit on instead of a marching band outfit. That's thank you. Yes, yes, he looks like Gerard Way. Gerard Way back in the day, not fat. I'm writing comics and making Netflix money. Gerard Way. I love him. I'm so happy now. You see pictures of him now. He's just sitting around his house in a bathrobe, like
this Santa suit is also kind of torn up, but it's sexy torn up, right?
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that like that's torn. The vibe, right? Like it's like not the grungy grease stain,
as opposed to like I look like I've been rolling around in a garage,
right?
But in my head, it's like cool, but it is not.
Awesome. So the next scene we see is
when I was a young boy, my father took me into the workshop to make a marching band.
We hear the kind of thrumming of a steam engine and the turning of wheels as we start to hear the powering of this. Y'all had plenty of time to get here, but nevertheless, this train, because of the efficiency of the North Pole, is getting ready to pull out of the station as you are coming up to it. You're kind of pushing through the crowds itself, and you've just got seconds to make it to the last car on the train. Tell me how you're pushing yourself to get there on time.
This is a great question.
I
feel oh, go for it.
No, please.
I would like to think that on the way out, Tinsel kind of like realizing that they were gonna be late, was running through the workshop and just like reached out and grabbed one of the like prototypes from the floor and is full blown doing Back to the Future 2 with the hoverboard on the train tracks to like try and catch up on this like little hoverboard that she thinks is going infinitely faster than it's actually going. And she's just like leaning down like really hard and like turning around and like catch up as she's trying to catch up to this train.
Awesome. So it's this fast zoomed in, then we zoom out and it's nowhere near as fast of motion.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you have the hoverboard pushing yourself along. Let's see stealing a hoverboard feels a little naughty.
Yeah, it's super duper.
Let's go ahead and make a naughty roll. So you're gonna roll a d6. Try to roll 2 or lower.
It's not gonna be great. It's a 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah.
You feel like you're moving so fast, so you can't imagine how fast this train must be moving to be pushing it away from you still at this moment. How is everybody else approaching this?
Snitter thinks of the children.
Oh, go for it, Snitter.
Nope. Sorry, mine's real easy. Snitter thinks of the children. He thinks of the children. He like in his heart of hearts, like, I love Christmas. We can't let him not get any of the presents, all the awesome toys that I make with all my people. And so he just like digs down into his heart and like runs as fast as he can. He's got to fucking get it done.
That sounds pretty nice.
Yep, pretty nice.
You're looking within. Go ahead and make a nice roll for me. See how it's going to turn out for you.
All right, I've got 2 in nice right now.
I like how you each are like, I'm going to bump this and then do the opposite.
Do the opposite.
Well, okay. How do we play this game again? I'm going to roll this d6.
Roll a d6. Try to roll a 2 or lower.
2 or lower. Oh boy, here we go.
Mhm.
That's a 4. Ah,
Awesome.
the children. I mean, maybe fuck them.
The children are like, get away, mom. Like, oh.
Right.
Oh, don't do that.
I mean, not literally, figuratively. Like, to hell with them.
Oh, no.
I'm not the one putting them on my lap day in and day out in all the shopping malls. Just trying to
I'm
make them a
breaking the
fun
sound
toy.
barrier. I'm scared.
Like, and you just see Snitter like slowly walking past.
It's like crunch,
Tinsel,
crunch,
like,
crunch.
what are you doing? Like,
I'm like kneeled down on the board holding the signs. Like I'm not even standing on the board anymore.
Love it. Snowbell, how about you? What do we see from Snowbell?
The camera pans to underneath the train as Snowbell is clutched to the bottom of the caboose and is just slowly making her way towards the front of the train, and it's just like Mission Impossibling her way up there, with maybe plans to decouple the other cars when she gets there. But
so Snowbell's just on the bot. Like Snowbell has arrived. Snowbell is there. It is on the underside of the caboose at this point in time. Excellent. I'll allow it. And Vincent, how about you?
Oh, well, it's very simple. If the train's going and I need it to stop, I'll make the conductor stop. I'm going to fire a warning shot at the conductor.
The train curves down and around out into the distance, but you can make out the front car without a doubt. And so you got your snowball launcher. So you're gonna roll 2d6 since you have it. You're only looking for lower on one of them. Go ahead and roll 2d6 and try to get under your naughty.
Okay, here we go. Roll 20. Don't be mean to me. That's 1d6. I legit just rolled a 2.
Awesome. Yeah, so we see off in the distance, like we actually watch and you can narrate it if you. Tell me how this looks. Like how does this snowball catch the eye of the conductor?
So it's just like Vincent sees like all of the party doing their various things, and he just still has the cigar going. Takes a deep breath and thinks of Ramirez, and there's the conductor door on the train. And there's a snowball that gets right through there, and it hits the window right in front of him. So it's just
we watch like the snowball, like we actually like the camera spins around it as it goes perfectly through that small hole, hits the window from the inside, which is what really freaks the conductor out. Like it doesn't even hit from the outside, and all of a sudden they like jam on the stop and they look at some of the kids who were like have run away from Snitter, and they're like, no throwing snowballs. we've got to get out of here. And so they pause for just a second, and that allows everybody.
Snitter and Tinsel just slam into the back.
Yeah,
of the
you guys just hit the back end all of a
What are you
sudden. Before the train,
who's like moving super slow. It's like I can't stop it. It's just like. Yeah.
As you'll all pull yourself on / slam into the back of this / are holding on underneath it, the Arctic Express is starting to pick up steam and move its way out from the Christmas Village proper, making its rounds to a couple pickup stops before it'll be there. Y'all are now on the clock. You have 90 minutes before the train will arrive, and you will have to have either found the spectral stocking cap of stealth, or Christmas may be ruined. Let's find out what happens So y'all pull yourselves up. Most of you are looking at the back end of the caboose. This is an incredibly luxurious train. You can see like gold gilding, and it's not just paint. Like this is actual golden gilding around the edge of this beautiful red caboose. There's a number of like diamond encrusted like snowflakes coming down the back door also too, as you kind of push your ways through, and it is just filled to the brim with heaps and heaps of bags that will go in the big bag. Sandra's hyperspectral bag of holding is going to receive all these bags for the trip, but you see just a caboose filled with an unimaginable amount of toys. What do you do?
Corporate greed naughty. She said
you hear from underneath the train.
The voices say the peppermint is the best flavor, huh?
Snitter starts looking around for a trapdoor in the bottom of the train car to let Snowball in. Snowball.
So you get there, you like find one. There are just all these bags of toys like down. Like you can see the ring you would pull up. To let someone in from underneath, whatever reason this caboose has that function, it does.
Pretty standard on trains.
Pretty standard on a northern fantasy train. You can pull that up and let them in if there weren't so many bags of toys covering the top of it.
Ah, damn it! Yeah, I'm working on it. Can we move these bags?
Tinsel just runs up to them and just like shoves her hands in and starts pushing as hard as she can. But I'm assuming like the weight differential, her feet are just like skittering. She just like, like leaning in.
So you should feel free. You have nimble as your elven ability, right?
I'm nimble.
So this is really a nimble thing, but y'all should feel free anytime you want to try to essentially evoke the magic of Christmas. To do something to summon that forward, you absolutely can. So feel free. Like if you wanna have ungodly elven strength, you just need to summon a little bit of Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Would you consider Snowbell a cryptid or a critter? Just out of curiosity.
I whatever you rolled is fine with me.
Okay, and I went with cryptid, but I wasn't sure if it was allowed. I would like to use Carnage, my cryptid ability, to rip the door open.
All right.
With my polar claws.
All right. So every character type has a different ability, which lets them roll 2d6 on your roll. This sounds, it's property destruction. Sounds naughty to me.
Let's roll that. I rolled a 5 over 4.
All right, so we're trying to roll low. So you just hear like tearing on the bottom of the train, like there's metal. You see metal clunky sparks like hitting the track behind you as you pull away, and you can just hear the bottom of this train getting ripped up. But apparently this is a reinforced door, and you aren't able to quite force your way through.
The ghost of a Christmas present.
Oh, right, the ghost of presents. I'd like to. Is Vincent, are you in the train with us now? Are you in the car
yes,
with us
I've just been watching from a distance like I do, just in case.
Can't we because of our blood, just really easily heft bags of toys? Surely that's something that our four-flushers taught us. I don't know. Go Claus strength. And I just summon the Christmas spirit and just pick up 2 bags.
What do you do to become especially spirited in this moment?
I get in touch with my how much I love the North Pole by pulling out that bag of snow, and then I turn my back to the camera, and then turn my face back to the camera, and I smile and go, "That's a little more like it. Here we go, Claus strength," and just lift a couple bags.
That's great. 100%. You 100% do it. Just go ahead and move a point over from nice to naughty for me.
Oh, that's what they want you to
I
do.
am real close to Cole, man.
Yeah, so this would be a point at which you were being given an option to like sing a Christmas song or share cookies with everybody, and you chose drugs, which is a totally valid choice. I'm not criticizing your character choices at all. I will let you know if you lose that last point in nice and move to naughty, you will betray the party and turn into a lump of coal.
Yeah, I hear that.
Okay. All right, cool. I want to let you know. So you can automatically trigger back over by singing a song or doing something else within the next scene or so. But yeah, you're able to easily empowered by the
Sing every Christmas carol at the same time, man. This is
the
my
Santa
goal.
force of
I love it
snow.
here.
We see like Sitter like heave those things up over their head, and y'all are able to pop that door open. What we see tinsel kind of hanging off the bottom of one of the bags as it gets like launched through the air. And all of a sudden, Snowbell is able to join y'all in the caboose.
Oh yeah, for sure. We absolutely should search all the train cars. Does anybody speak bear?
I think she said that she wants cookies. What do you mean tax evasion? I don't understand. I filed the right paperwork months ago. She says that she's pretty sure that it's going to be at the front of the train because of all the video games she plays.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we gotta make our way through like the whole dungeon, right?
And we've got to shoot our way through, if I understand how these youngins play their games, correct?
Oh yeah, I remember this level. I remember this level from where Pierce Brosnan, the superior Bond to Timothy Dalton, shot his way all the way through a train.
Oh, delightful.
Yes.
Murder.
Tinsel's gonna run over to the next door
Nicely murder.
and like parkour off the bags, like hut, and grab the door to open it and like use her momentum to swing it out to the next train car.
Awesome. That happens. It also sounds like a very nice thing if you want to do any sort of stat management, but you do not have to since you did not make a roll.
I would like to do that.
And so you open the door for everybody. We do see like that front bag starting to like you jump up, you swing, you push the door open. In what is probably an OSHA violation, it opens outwards, and we see the bag nearest to the edge of the train. The top has come open, and those toys are starting to spill out, and they are in danger of falling down onto the track below and getting destroyed, ruining some children's Christmas. What do y'all want to do?
Snowball's gonna like run over and try to like start grabbing them or jump to like grab a few of the ones that are teetering just precariously off the edge. She's gonna dive.
Sure. Go ahead and make a nice roll for me.
Oh no. Ooh, so my nice is 2 and I rolled a 2.
You got it. So you're gonna move 1 point from naughty over to nice, moving you back to 3 and 3.
What happens if I'm at 1 nice right now because I decided to horf a bunch of
you got to roll a 1 on a nice roll.
What happens if I beef the roll? Do I just turn
You will immediately get consumed by the anti-Christmas forces.
Sounds like you got to spread some Christmas cheer there, my guy.
The conceit is that when you get down that low, the best choice to make is to invoke some Christmas spirit a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I got you. Does Snowbell come back in with presents?
So Snowbell is like actually puts themselves between. They're not inconsiderable selves in between the presents, and they're they got them kind of like bobbling in the air, trying to grab them. There's not a lot of risk of them falling out at this point in time. However, there is a little bit of a risk of Snowbell falling out. It looks like also too, as it was a pretty tight landing.
There is a hole in the train? Is that what I'm understanding?
No, the door opened outwards. Tinsel opened the door outwards, and so now there's a risk of them. It should have opened inward. That's the safe way to happen, or slid sideways. That's not how this train works. It's a bad train.
Holes in the floor.
That's right. Yeah.
So. Meanwhile, Tinsel's laying on the floor of the other car. Good train. Good train.
But yeah, Snowbell looks pretty secure, but is right on the edge of where those presents were about to fall out, kind of like shoveling them back into the thing and getting it tied up.
I'd like to aid in that if I could. And then, because again, present obsessed, I think Snitter sees the presents, and what I want to do is help get them back in. And I want to, I don't know, stabilize Snowbell. Like, can I just help pull him back in?
You can, which is a nice thing in and of itself, but you'll have to make a roll. So here's what I'm going to option you to do, because it's an easy Christmas spirit moment for anybody who wants to. Plus, it's my fun way to make this happen. Tinsel, you said you had made it into the train car for the next car, so the next door has been pushed open also too. And you hear music wafting back in from the next train car, Alex. What is the song that you hear wafting back in, and why don't you sing a few bars for us?
Oh yeah, absolutely, coming back in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite. I think this is gonna work out. Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking back from my house Christmas Eve. You may say there's no such thing as Santa, but honestly, if I have to admit it, like, I believe in him because he's my second cousin, and like, he's pretty chill because he gives the kids all the cool presents I make.
Which is really weird that they're actually playing the Snitter mix over the loudspeakers. Like, it's not a very common version of the song.
But up here, it was kind of a banger for a couple of years when Snitter, like, the first thing that he did when he was relegated down to the special shop was he got himself a sweet DAW, and he just, like, did a whole album of Christmas remixes, which is just him getting his demons out and admitting that he really does, like, love everything about Christmas.
It's a lot of stream of consciousness reflections via remixes of popular.
Yeah, like Silent Night, Holy Night, I hope that I didn't do anything and make anybody mad is on there. And also everybody's holiday favorite, chestnuts roasting on an open fire that I promised I went to a farmer's market and bought from a sustainable chestnut farmer. Yeah. They're not good per se, but they are like, you know, they're like, he's doing his best to make sure that he like loves Christmas, and he's not doing it in a way that hurts anybody else.
Here's the benefit of Christmas Village, like
silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city, but like, if you like look like you don't need a bell ringing in your face, like right now, like, I'll totally be quiet and just like celebrate my own way, not offensively. Yeah.
Like in Christmas and in Santa's Village, if you've got Claus in your last name, like, the album's gonna sell. Like, you don't have to worry about it. Like,
every time it might as well be works. Jonas, you know.
Right.
Like,
you don't need a challenge. You just need a name. Nepotism.
Naughty.
So
I would like to advance on the next train, like John Wick. Oh.
Did I get a point back?
So you're gonna be by singing the song, which is the easiest way. You as the player singing the song that is in the game is the quickest way to move a point back over from naughty to nice. Yes.
I can't believe the conductor or whoever's DJing on this train is a fan. I hope I get to meet him. Maybe I'll sign some merch.
Fan's driving the train? A fan's driving the train. We're all gonna die.
So Vincent, you said you sweep it like John Wick. You bust your you move your snowball launcher across as you kind of burst through the door. Tinsel hanging off, having just dropped to the floor on the other side. Hearing Snitter sing their Snitter mix of "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer" behind you, this is a bar car. Like, you see a bunch of elves, a few polar bears. You see a couple of automatons who are all knocking back various forms of Christmas cocktails. It looks like this is the first shift coming off of their Christmas work, headed back home. These are people who are not going to be working, so they're on the long trip home after they drop off all these toys, and looks like they're starting their celebrations a little bit early. This entire train is beautiful and gilded and luscious normally. However, there's something tremendously noticeable that is very well known in this bar car that is missing. Vincent, what is, you kind of pan your snowball launcher across the room? What especially fancy decoration do you notice that has been stolen from this area?
I see a particular wreath that was very interesting and unique in the sense that it's marked So the bark underneath the wreath is made out of the finest Colombian cinnamon on the planet.
Nice.
Gets you going, gets you where you need to be. I'd spend weekends just sniffing that wreath.
You notice the cinnamon wreath that you normally snuggle up to in this bar on those long cold
That is
rides.
probably you're not the only one. Like normally there's just like 8 or 9 people just like, oh yeah, you want to get up? Hey Charlie, it's been a long day making toys. You want to go off the wreath? Yeah.
It's missing from the room. People seem to have noticed it, but like, nobody seems to be reacting to it other than like you see a couple of like down faces. For the most part, the sense of celebration and Christmas spirit prevails, but it is a little dampened for what you normally would have when the wreath would be present. But you notice that nobody immediately stands out at you as particularly suspicious. They all kind of stop and look at you as you train your gun across each of them. And bartender says, can I help you?
Oh, yes. One for everyone. Put it on the family tab.
And all of a sudden, like the bar cheer, like erupts in cheers. Is the family tab. Hey, starting the celebration a little early tonight.
Oh, yes.
What brings y'all to Twinkles?
Oh, well, I've got questions. I'm sure you know some things have gone missing, and I was wondering if you might know anything about it.
If you're talking about the wreath, everybody's asked about it when they came in, but I'll tell you what, I just figured that they ordered it out early for cleaning this year. We usually do it right after the holidays, after the last train ride home, but I just figured we had to do it early this year.
Is that what you figured?
Well, we could let it get us down, but Christmas is tomorrow. We want to keep those spirits high no matter what.
Heard.
I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, Tinsel, I want Tinsel, as this is kind of happening, she knows that we're here looking for the stealth cap, and there's a lot of people here, and they're all thieves. So she's kind of, as they're talking to the bartender, she's just moving from like bench to bench, checking pockets, and seeing like what everyone has, whether it's hiding in like coat pockets. She's just like popping around like from underneath things, like sticking a hand in a pocket, pulling it out, and being like and like throwing whatever she finds as she moves around.
I love it.
The room.
I love it.
And I wanted to use my creatures type ability to read hearts. I want to get everybody lit, and I want to read their hearts.
Awesome.
You wouldn't lie to Vincent, would you?
I love this. Yeah, I've never had to use read hearts in a game before because, like I said, y'all were the first 2 people to ever roll a Claus in a game that I've run. I'm so excited about it. So when Vincent reads hearts, what does that look like for Vincent? How does he, like, in the sense of what does he see? And I'll describe it to you in those terms as we're going around. And we'll kind of do a little bit of back and forth on this.
I actually really thought about this because in my head, Vincent has always been a sniper. You know, in the Grinch, where they show his heart being like 5 sizes bigger, and like it's like a zoom in, and it's like a small heart getting bigger. Like that's how he scopes people.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
Their hearts.
I also love the in the Christmas. In the Christmas Wars of 2018, that you actually, like, this was part of your amazing sniper power. Like you would be able to zoom in and like you would see the hearts beating, and then all of a sudden like they would just stop beating, and that was the entirety of
the trick is to put the bullet in the heart.
So you're getting people drunk and reading their hearts. We're gonna come back to that in just 1 second as you go around. Tinsel, you're making your way around. Tinsel, go ahead and make a roll. I'm pretty open if you want to spin it one way or the other. The fact that this sounds naughty on face value because you are pickpocketing people, but it doesn't sound like you're stealing anything.
No, like if anything, I mean, it's right up the middle, but I feel like it's kind of a blend. So, because either way, it's going to be 3s. So it's like she's going through and like sometimes leaving peppermints and other times stealing keys and swapping them with other people. It doesn't really make sense. Like at one point she like pulls out a wallet and like takes all the cards out and just like makes it rain all over the room before like running around. Like, but then in another one she like puts $20 in someone's wallet. Like it's just this weird, like it doesn't make any sense. Like at one point she's like it's in a hood. She pulls it back and whispers like her deepest secret into the hood and then like closes it and taps it for safekeeping as she just like flits around the room just like popping up.
I gotta know.
Oh my god.
What is Tinsel's deepest secret?
I was just about to say she strikes me as a put pocket too. God damn it.
I was supposed to meet Tingle out on the Christmas lake. We were engaged to be married, but I just couldn't bring myself to it. And I left him waiting there for several days as I ran off with his brother, Sprinkle, to the Bahamas. I have no regrets.
Sprinkle, you dog.
Sprinkle fucks.
Yeah.
Sprinkle. There's one thing we all know about
Sprinkle
Sprinkle
fucks hard.
up at the North Pole.
Hell yeah, that's a 3.
Hog.
That is a 3. So
Yeah,
either way, I'm good.
I think rules as written, because essentially the way the
GM's
rules.
discretion.
Well, no, I love the ambivalence of any of the things that can come in this game. But rules as written, the actual stats are things that would move you up on the nice list, which it doesn't sound like, and then naughty is anything that's not nice. So let's go ahead and call this a naughty roll since it's not explicitly nice.
Yep. So I succeeded, which means I put a point in naughty and take from nice, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Perfect. What goodies? Do I find anything helpful in what we're actually looking for? Or do I just find that one drunk girl's number from the end of the bar?
You find the drunk girl's number from the end of the bar, but you find it in like a lot of pockets, like a lot of pockets. You also find a surprising amount of like red fur. Like it's almost Santa matched, except for like, so you look over at like, you like look at Snitter across the room, you like zoom in on one of the most worn parts of his Santa suit. It's like, it's this greasy, dark stain on it. And it's like almost that color of red.
Okay. Tinsel would absolutely, every time, like the first time she found the number, she would like, and like throw it over her shoulder. The second time she found the number, she'd like, wait. And every time she found this number, she would like gather it up in her hand. And the same with like the red fur. She'd then kind of like sprint over to Snowbell and be hands. And like once Snowbell put her hands out, she would just like drop like all the like crumpled pieces of bar napkin with the phone number on it and all the red fur and say, it means something.
Was Snowbell saved from the cliff edge by like by the song? Okay.
No, I mean you were juggling on the edge, but I mean I think you managed to right yourself. You didn't roll poorly enough for me to imperil you. I was still in a line out for Snitter, in all honesty.
I helped.
All right.
Snitter helped, but he sang while he did it.
Yeah.
He
sang and then like moved over and like
Just
gave you a
checking.
hand, and you know. So Vincent, you're working your way around. You're just
I was like, you're dead. I don't even know why you're still on this call.
Just
Get
plummeted.
out of here.
Just died last scene off camera.
So Snowbell, you're totally stabilized. You've managed to make your way in. Everybody's got their favorite beverage, which I'm going to ask you about in just a second, also too. So Vincent, you're making your way around the crowd. You're reading hearts. The big thing you notice, I'll just give you flat off the top, is that you like, again, everybody's heart is like one size lower than you would expect, right? Like across the board, everyone's heart is one size lower than you would expect. You can tell that the Christmas spirit has actively been reduced by this and so on. As you kind of talk to people, a couple of things you figure out. No one knows what happened to this wreath. No one knows how it got taken out. Like when you talk to the bartender a little bit more, they're being fully honest with you. You can tell their heart isn't flagging at all when they're talking about it. Like everything was secured and locked up in Twinkle's this morning when they showed up. And they can't tell how the person got in. And they're just doing their best to kind of keep everybody else's Christmas spirit up high, because they can kind of generally sense that things are a little low also, but you can see it. Like, the Christmas spirit level has dropped one level of heart size for almost everybody in the room.
Let's put another round on the family tab.
Absolutely.
Mary, you know the rest.
What does he say always? Like something about hose?
I
don't know.
Oh, 3 of them.
Like,
yeah. Everybody, can we get some hose in here?
Twinkle calls
There's
him
only
server.
one. There's only one. She takes the numbers and holds them up. Only one. There's only one.
Server reinforcements like pop out from behind the bar. There's like little automaton, like sentient toys that are helping like move trays of things around. There's a Roomba that's like kind of cracked, that's making its way around the room with a tray on top, but it's just like it's stuck in the corner, like going back and forth. What?
I'd like to fix it, please. I'd like to go to the Roomba and help it out. I'd like to like supercharge it and juice it up so that it can get everybody all their drinks and stuff faster.
Go ahead and
firing up the party.
Go ahead and make a nice roll for me. This is I feel like department related for you, so go ahead and take an extra D6 for that.
Hell yeah! All right, here we go, baby.
And as soon as Vincent sees one of the
Sweet.
As soon as Vincent sees one of the moving toys, he's just gonna have 1,000-yard stare as like the sounds of sin plays in his mind. This is the big one.
As you're already in the middle of that flashback, like you hear the cracking of a chassis behind you from the Roomba going open, and it takes you back right into that moment of.
You leave that toy alone. I'm so sorry.
What?
Don't mind me.
Fucking lit in here, man.
I just had a bad trip. The nightmares, they keep me awake at night.
Bro, get it together. And I toss you a fatty. Pass this around, man. Fire this train car up.
So
Vincent will eat this all day.
There's some cinnamon bark in that fatty that just kind of raises up like it takes everybody in the room, like that warmth that was missing all of a sudden kind of fills back up into the room as drinks get kind of passed around, everything else. But yeah, no one seems to have a lot of information in this car other than kind of what you've already figured out for the most part about what happened with this wreath. But there is a door on the other end of it.
Yeah, whatever.
The man in the sky says there's nothing left here. We should go.
Yeah, word. Some asshole Clifford the big red dog has apparently got the cloak of the hat of stealth or whatever, and he's stealing the fucking huffing wreath. Jerk. I want to get a sniff of that, man.
The clutch of fur that
the huffing wreath. Because Ariana Huffin made it for us.
Oh no.
She's crazy.
No, she's crazy.
I want to grab that clutch of hair that
Tinsel.
Tinsel. I'm sorry. I tried to think of like a Christmassy word and I couldn't remember what it was. I tried to grab that cluff of the fur that Tinsel handed me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I want to like sniff it and try to like memorize the scent if it comes across us again.
Yeah, it doesn't smell great. It's hard to pin down whether it's a stank, or a stunk, but it smells bad one way or the other.
Like dirt. It smells like balls. Smells like dirt.
Sorry, what's it smell like?
From under trees.
Does it smell like a fermented alligator or whatever that dude says in that song? Greasy black peel?
Like gooey.
As Snitter says greasy black peel, you're like, it actually smells way more like a oily gray peel.
Italian pee-pee.
But yes, you're able to encapsulate that scent in your brain. Vincent, I should also throw out if you want to for buying those 2 rounds for the car, even though you charge them to the family account, you do have some discretionary ability. So if you want to move a point over to nice, you absolutely can for helping to raise everybody's spirit. You don't have to though, but you are welcome to if you want to.
I think I need to actually. Especially
like
what's
onward?
coming. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get naughty AF later.
So y'all yeah, you guys work your way around the room. Everybody's Christmas spirits are rolling high as y'all spin through the room. When we see the door to the other end of the cart fly open, like a haze of cinnamon smoke and gingerbread scent kind of wafts out behind y'all as you stagger out of Twinkle's and into the next car. As you open up the door on the other side, you do hear like a bing bong bing.
Fuck your life.
Fuck your life. Joe Byrie.
Sorry, we spent a lot of time paying attention to the kids and what they're into.
We've arrived at the final destination.
Hey, yo!
They're like there's outer village reached. First stop imminent. Please do not disembark the train. And all of a sudden, like y'all huff into a station, and you can hear people like filling up that back caboose with even more toys as another car gets coupled onto the back of the train, also too behind you.
This was part of the plan. Like in our schematics, we would have known that like this we were going to get hitched up and have some time here.
Yeah, but based on like this, the stocking gift of stealth was stolen from HQ. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna head to a window and I'm gonna look into the snow for footprints for anybody trying to get off. Like I want to like see if I can see somebody trying to see if I can see somebody just furiously jacking it behind the train. Somebody just invisibly cranking it.
Just a lot of eggnog shipments making their way off this train.
You do see like a really
looking for stealth nog deposits.
You see a really frustrated Ken doll automaton out there, but other than that, no, you don't.
Just looking down, just screaming into the snow.
I mean, I'm just curious to know what somebody's heart would look like in the midst of that activity.
This one, or 3 sizes.
This one, it's very small. Sizes. The Christmas spirit's almost lower than you've ever seen. So as you look around, you kind of keeping an eye on the snow, which is excellent. You don't see anything. Like you don't, it's long train. You can see it kind of curves around in front of you, but you don't see any tracks in the snow.
It's a natural curve.
It's a natural curve. As you come into the next train, does anybody want to tell me what song is currently playing in here?
Yeah, it's Jingle Bell Rock.
It's Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah.
Cover by Mariah Carey.
Do you want to do a few bars to that to move a point over to nice, or do you want to let it go?
Yeah, time out, because I don't know if I know all the words.
And you do have to sing the entire thing. That's a requirement.
Well, no, okay, all right, here we go. But jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. And as that line hits, Tinsel goes, "Not the hop!" And she like gets down on the ground and covers her head and starts army crawling through the string car with like some strange sort of triggering flashback.
We are a damaged party.
We flash
man.
down to we flash back to the Bahamas, and we see Sprinkle holding their hand out to you, saying, "Let's hop."
And that's when Tinsel's whole life went wrong.
That's right. We'll come back to that later.
And then we follow his gaze. His gaze goes over to the person leading the all-inclusive resorts, the
Yes,
Jingle Bell
thank
Hop,
you.
and she was
Yes.
just like, she's got fucking island dreadlocks in braids with little beads on the
Ew.
bottom of them. Yeah, he was right.
100%.
This is a private. These are private cars in this train. Now there's again, like the rest of the train, it's absolutely gorgeous. Polished to the nines, absolutely beautiful. And usually there's there's something special about every train. Since let's go with Snowbell. Snowbell, what is missing from this car compartment that is normally very evident as soon as you come in?
Holiday cheer, Tony.
How is that manifest normally in a physical way?
It is
It's usually a
it
bunch of
is
cheerleaders.
so devoid of holiday cheer that you can hear your own heartbeat.
What the fuck?
That's gonna fuck with Tinsel real
Hey, is it
bad.
just
If she's
me?
like,
Is it just me or you guys?
So
she's
silent
crawling
in
on the
here.
floor.
You can hear the whispers of the old ones resurfacing during this time of Yule.
Oh no, the Uber Claus has come back.
So Snowbell, what you know about this car is that normally there's a lot of really great sound insulation that protects people from hearing what's happening in the car right next to them, but also just makes it an incredibly relaxing place to do that. It's plush, thick, like red velvet. Hand woven by Bahamian elves and shipped up here every summer to be reupholstered to eliminate the memories that were housed in there from the previous one. All of that has been stolen, and all of a sudden everybody is left with the dreading sound of their own heartbeat and their own misgivings as they travel through this car. Which, Snowbell, I'll come back to you last. But let's go around and hear from everybody. What do you flash back to? What is the moment of deepest regret, or a dark moment for your character? If we've already covered that, you want to advance a little bit further. What is their darkest moment of regret that they encounter as they enter into this space?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead, Snitter.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snitters is just see his just and the camera slowly pans back from this like lunatic strung out bloodshot eyes, and then you just as like you hear news clip after news clip after news clip. 4 more trampled to death in a rush for Tickle Me Elmos. 8 elderly women get in a fist fight over Tickle Me Elmo dolls. No one can find them. This year's holiday craze or murder bonanza. And it's just him like slowly like clicking through local news channel after local news channel, just watching like it's just a woman like, I tried. That's all my kid wanted, but I couldn't get him one. And then he left. And now he's on the meth. And like, it's just he's just looking at all of the like havoc he caused by making the most adorable and wonderful and incredible toy ever.
As the light of the TV flickering in front of him illuminates him somewhat like a mushroom cloud of an atomic explosion, do we just hear him whisper, I have become death, destroyer of worlds?
Yeah. I am become Elmo, tickler of worlds.
Awesome. We zoom back out. You can move a point to Naughty. You don't have to, but you're also absolutely welcome to when you narrate any of these. Vincent, how about you? What's the dark moment we see or further explore in Vincent's past?
Oh, it's been about a couple of weeks after the demise of Ramirez from Sid. I was on a mission in the same town, and well, I just so happened to see a loose Snickers bar. And, well, I knew immediately upon seeing it what I had to do. I stole it. I stole it, and I went to that little fucker's house. He wasn't there. He was off to garbage man school. But you know who was there? His little dog. He left him a full bowl. Dry food. The dog would nibble at it, but he wanted a real treat. He wasn't himself, but he was hungry, so I went to fix it. And he ate the little chocolate bar.
Am I the only other person that thought that you took a big old dookie in his thing when you described this earlier?
Oh, no,
No,
I assumed he fed the dog chocolate, poisoning him.
Oh, I
Yeah,
assumed
same,
you laid a
same,
log.
same. I
Yeah,
assume
same.
that he killed this kid's dog.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Absolutely.
I like how
And
I
I
like
just-
how Snitter was like every time that story's been told to Snitter, like when they've been totally spaced
He's
out,
like,
was like, I can't believe
That's
you pooped
awesome.
on that dog's food, and like
Yeah, dude.
didn't realize he was admitting.
Great
that he
prank.
killed the
Great
dog.
prank.
You've confessed.
I just stood. I
Also-
just stood there and I watched.
People. Everybody in the North Pole thinks that Snitter has been just murdering dogs because he's all the time like, ha, left a Snickers bar in that dog bowl. Every time he does the same great prank because he wants to be cool like Vincent. Everybody thinks he's a fucking murderer, but he's just been dropping logs all over the pole.
Oh shit.
Tinsel,
He's
Tinsel,
the,
take
he's
us.
the shitting Santa Claus.
Tinsel,
Looks like we solved the mystery of the shit in Santa. Whoops.
what do you hear in your heart of hearts as the emotional padding of this passenger car is stolen away?
Yeah, there's those weird like she's standing or crouched down on the ground and like looking over her shoulder, and as she does, like it's like she sees scenes of herself like at a desk with like a single spotlight that like zooms in every time she turns her head like more and more. And it's her like looking at a list, and it's Sprinkle's list, and at the top it's she's not on the list. It's just a list of like it's like the lady from the Bahamas. He wants like a PlayStation 5, like all, and then like a Tickle Me Elmo. Like she's not on the list, and she just like looks at it and like, huh? No, naughty, nice, naughty, nice, and like she's like, he's nice. We had a nice trip, but I'm naughty because I left. And like it's just like this weird psychotic break because she realized that Sprinkles like doesn't want her, and she risked everything to be with him.
Wow,
The end.
awesome.
We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna work out.
Fine. Snowbell, what do you, as you make this realization, and we've zoomed in on all your friends, what do you hear in your heart of hearts?
Snowbell, as a generally non-vocal person, individual, cryptid, Snowbell only hears the sound that haunts her every waking day.
This is horrifying. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm just because leave it there. That's great. As y'all make
We're all
your-
dejected. Snitters just starts like opening train cars and being like, any of you guys steal a hat? No, fuck it. And like,
So in the last car, like the sense of Christmas spirit was like diminished. In this one, and it started to affect y'all. It's like flattened out. It is like everybody's hearts are down to like almost normal size. Like you've never seen denizens with Christmas spirit this low while still within the realm of the polar village. Like it is stark and dark, and every time you're like, did you still have, they're like, what? no, and then they'll start to list off their worst moment in life. Like they're like, I did this, like da da da, like here's what I did.
Thanks,
like,
I'm good.
and they're all oversharing, and it's tremendously uncomfortable every single time you do it. And so, but you do see, like as you're like going door to door, like every time you put your hand on it, like they're greasy. Like the doorknobs are like greasy every single time you touch them.
Make a history check to know if I know anything about gray oily grease.
You don't. Snowbell, you get struck by that same oily gray smell near each of these doorknobs.
Oh fuck! It's from under cheese. Is there a color?
Jesus, I'm sorry. No, you got me.
Is there a color to the grease at all?
It's got.
We all watch Tony try to see if he can think of a color that we can't say something horrible about.
Oh no, I wasn't even worried about that. It's got the color and consistency of a warm, but not hot brie cheese. Right? So it's like slightly beigeish white. It's goopy, but it's not in the pleasant classification of goop where you're like, spread this across a cracker. It's like, oh, this has gotten to be slightly above room temperature. I'm no longer interested in this cheese. It needs to be
all
colder
over
or
Kinsel's
hotter.
hands. It is all over Kinsel's hands. And she just holds her hands out and goes, "Huh?"
I'm going to need both of you to stay away from me. You're all gross.
Oh Lord. We gotta get out of this train car, you guys.
Tinsel is still trying to open the next one, like with the stuff all over her hands.
So-
Oh God.
So as y'all all of a sudden, like you see at the other end coming down towards you, like this stern face of the Central Park Ranger. This is security on the train as well as for most of the Central Polar Express thing. And he's checking each of the cabins for tickets on his way down.
Oh, cool.
Can I kick the door down? Can I just like SWAT team this door?
The door in
This
front of
dude's
you.
coming at us.
He's
No,
he's coming
the-
down.
between us and
He's
the
coming
door.
down towards you.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a door with the greasy stuff that we couldn't open.
All the doors have the greasy stuff on them. Every single one you've opened. Anyone who's touched one of those doorknobs, their hands are now covered in
goop.
grease and goop. Not good temperature goop either.
No.
Tinsel's gonna look at everybody and go, I can, and she's gonna see the conductor coming in their direction, and I have an idea, gang. Do you trust me?
Get fired up.
Tinsel is going to see this person and just yell, "I have something to show you!" She's going to run as fast as she can and do like elf parkour, like to get the height. And she, with the goo on her hands, is going to smear it like on the conductor's eyes, like full on like bleh, like all over his face.
This sounds like a pretty nimble parkour moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a 2d6 plus naughty roll for me.
Yeah, I will do that.
I mean, what?
That is a 1.
Not
That
plus
is a
naughty,
1.
for naughty. Yeah. Excellent. So you move one over to naughty also.
Yep, got it.
And yeah, you smear. Oh, what are you? I need your tickets. And he's got like a clipper in each hand, and he's like clipping them around in the air, like trying to like slam at you, and like stab at you with them.
Yeah, my hope is that he is now blinded by this goo, and she's gonna pull out a couple more of those girls' numbers from the bar and just stuff them in his hands, and like, here go, like keep moving to the door.
And he's like clipping them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the smell? Oh God! Ugh. What did you do?
It's Christmas cheer, you filthy animal.
Can I snowball this guy in the dome piece before he makes more noise?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a naughty roll for me.
All right, cool.
And are you Polar Security, Vincent? Right?
That is a 2 on the naughty, so that I
You're
believe
good.
I made it. Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, you hit him right in the noggin, and it not like you see him spin. It hits him in the head, and he like spins around and falls to the ground, and he's like, even as he's like falling, he's still like clipping blindly these tickets around him until he hits the ground.
I would like to go in his pockets. I would like to take his things.
Sure. Roll a d6 for me.
Yeah. Oh, this is spooky scary. That's a 3.
You find a you find some snowflake throwing stars. So these look like snow. Okay, these are not standard issue. A Central Park Ranger is not supposed to carry this type of weaponry, but this guy's got a couple of them kind of stowed away. It's not uncommon for a Central Park Ranger to have a little something extra on them. And
it sounds
you're
to
able
me
to
like
find
he
it.
just stopped a shitty cop from being shitty. I'm going to argue that this is a nice move. I think you should get it.
I mean,
for
I
shutting
think
the
this is
fucking narcs
ACAB all
down.
day.
Yeah, dude.
All day, every day.
So, I mean, again, if anytime somebody wants to make an argument for a role, I would say that's 100% great. If he had read his heart in advance, I would say then his motivations may have been nice, but oftentimes it's about your own internal motivations, not about how shitty that person is you find out after the fact.
Your Honor, I would like to bring forth the case of fuck the police, the people versus NWA. Case of 1992 as precedent for my niceness.
I mean, I can't argue with "fuck the police" as an argument. So.
Underground.
If your argument is that in Vincent's heart, he believes that transportation should be free and available to the masses, and people should be able to change location without government interference, that I could 100% get behind.
I mean, deep down in his heart, the reason he hates Santa is because Vincent is the communist Claus.
I mean, we are clad all in red, my dude.
Yeah,
Like,
you know.
Oh
Oh no.
workers rise up.
Oh no.
Cue
Oh,
the
no.
national.
So
Yeah.
as you take
The means of production.
as you step over this body, you get to the door on the other side of this car, and you open it up into the next cart. Does anybody want to name the song and pick the song?
Okay, so how about it's the Winter Witch herself, Mariah Carey, and it's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
All right.
Because I think a fight scene to that would be pretty dope.
Do you
Let's go.
want to break a little bit of that off?
Ha ha ha! No, I don't know. Do I
Oh,
even
come
know
on,
the-
Noir.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need, and I want a global present underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my
Make-
wish come true. All I want for Christmas is booze.
Again, we got
Oh,
we
nice.
got
I
that
play the Snitters
we got that
remix in this
Snitter
one,
Claus
too.
mix in the works. Go ahead and move a point over to nice.
Heck yeah, I'm almost too nice now, y'all.
Get some
I'm
naughty. Let's go.
I'm at 4 nice right now. What's good?
Ready to get naughty.
I know, right? I'm just packing it in. Here we go.
So y'all, as you remember from your briefing that there's only 2 cars left. The next car up is Bulk Sword. So the sleigh is on the next car. It's an exposed open air car, and then after that there is the engine itself, which is powered solely by Christmas spirit. So there is no coal car. There's still coal around thematically, right? But like it's not necessary at all. And so y'all know that y'all are headed out onto that open platform, and it's going to be a little bit windier, especially for anybody who might be sleight of form. Would want to potentially be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever that might be. How are y'all proceeding out into this open platform?
Okay, I'll go first. As Tinsel kind of like comes out, and it's very windy and blustery approaching this cart, I do want to go ahead and do a flashback.
Okay.
Part of the preparations as we got to this part, I'm assuming that Hermie kind of made mention that this might be a problem. So Tinsel would have taken herself down to the candy department and would have stolen a bunch of gumdrops, like rather like the large ones that they use to decorate the gingerbread houses that are like particularly like sticky. And as that door opens, she will go, "Oh yeah," and like from her pockets pull out those oversized gumdrops, lick them, and like stick her feet in them, so they're kind of like suction cups on the bottom.
Swoop, 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 swoop,
Yep.
swoop, swoop.
Yep.
As you do that, like you open them up the windows, we actually see like Tinsel step through, and like we see the gumdrops stretch up a little bit. Like we actually see them kind of viscously start, and then like sporing back down, and you're able to walk normally.
Sound.
And you can see that there's a bunch of large kind of equipment on here. There's a giant crane arm right in the middle of this. Of the entire thing, and then there's the sleigh itself, exposed and gleaming, like every other part of this train. Though it does have music coming out of loudspeakers, which you can hear over the wind, and it does normally, as beautiful as this open flat storage car is, there's something missing from it. Does anybody want to tell us what's missing? Snitter, what do we got?
Yeah, the guards are gone. Super weird. There's usually just always like, hey, where are Flick and Flack and Flock and Fleek? They're like they're always with the sleigh. They're the sleigh crew. The crew's gone.
The 4 automaton nutcrackers made out of precious metals, Flick, Flack, Flock, and Fleek. That could be incorrect, but I think that's close to what it was.
Nailed it.
Yeah, they are normally one standing at each direction. You know, one's made
They're
out of
automatons.
gold,
They're not like real people.
one's made out of electrum, one's made out of but they're there. I mean, automatons are real. They're active. You know, like they're
Yeah. I got you. I hear your woke culture. They're like real.
But they have been stolen. It's got canceled. Hold on, I'm updating the errata for Santa-Cide 5E right now to eliminate.
All right, let's start the YouTube apology.
Listen, I realize that I might have made some recent comments about automatons. It has come to my attention after talking and getting to know some automatons that they are real people with feelings and thoughts. And just because I have a beating flesh meat heart and they have a bunch of wires and are basically the thing that I could have made, somehow they got a soul or whatever. So I'm sorry.
A sensitivity consultant like points at the cards because you've gone off script at this point.
Do you want to move a point over to? Do you want to move a point over to Naughty?
Me?
Yeah.
That's still not the worst YouTube apology this year.
Bro.
It's one of the better ones. You can if you want to for your comments. I'll give it to you.
Yes. Wait. I'm in Naughty.
If you want to move a point from nice to naughty for that, you absolutely can.
I'd rather not. And
you don't
have my
to.
apology, I'd like to sing you all a Christmas song to spread some Christmas joy. Ready? Here we go. Come, they told me. Ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. Come, they told me. Ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. So I just came. Ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. And Jesus liked it. Ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum.
All right. So you move a point back over to Nice if you want to.
During the apology, he says the word robots, and the next day the headlines read like Claus family members says offensive automaton slur.
Oh no.
So you you notice that Fleek, Flack, Fleck,
Now
and
the
Flock.
big guy finally knows how the Romneys feel.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Amazing.
Oh my god. It's gonna get spicy.
You've got binders full of automatons, okay?
As you make your way across this open space, Vincent, you hear a noise you haven't heard in a long time. It is the sound, you could swear, of Sid's dogs howling into the wind.
Y'all just see Vincent freeze up and just cock the sniper. Just cock the mistletoe. Just looks like old Vincent has some work he needs to finish. I'm just gonna make my way towards the sound.
It's coming from over near the car. What type of dog was Sid's dog?
It was like a pit bull.
Okay.
It was super nice too, and everybody thought it was a dick.
Yeah, well, you know,
Mr. Worldwide just pops out from the other side of the site, finger guns at you and starts listing cities.
He knows what he did. Dale no more.
Dale. You killed my dog, Dale.
You hear the clacking click of bone on bone as a skeletal pit bull comes around the outside edge of the cart, and all of a sudden from the far side of it you hear, "Oh, I've been waiting for you," and all of a sudden pulling off the stocking cap of stealth in front of you stands the Grunch.
Not the Grunch.
Does anybody else suddenly smell dick?
Okay, I need to pause for a second.
No, but I see one.
I need us to pause for a second. When Keegan, I'd already rolled up the villain for this when Keegan said they were going to play the Grinch, and it is my greatest regret about Keegan not being with us tonight that we did not get to see the Grinch and the Grunch throw down and face off against each other. You're going to have to tune back in at some point in the future for that to happen, folks. We'll make sure it does. But for right now, setting all that aside, our off-brand Grinch, the Grunch, has appeared. Well, it seems that you were able to make it through this far, but I don't know if you'll make it much further. And all of a sudden, they throw out 4 little balls, each of the different types of metal that Fleek, Fleck, and Flack are made out of. And all of a sudden, they pop up, and 4 automatons, a spectral pit bull, and the Grunch himself, or themselves, are coming at you menacingly, getting ready to throw you off the train.
Can I take an immediate shot at the dog?
Just pump him absolutely full of balls.
That dog, you and that dog lock eyes with each other, and you have this. You can tell your thoughts are synced, not in the way that partners' thoughts are synced, but in the way that only 2 ancient rivals' thoughts can be synced. And he launches himself through the air at you as you start to unload with your snowball launcher at the same time. Go ahead and make your roll for me on Naughty.
I mean, respect, because it's on site.
Right.
I rolled a 2, and my Naughty is I'm doing really, really well. My Naughty is a. Hold on, let me double check, because my Naughty is still a 2, and my Nice is a 4. So
All right, well, it's about to be
he-
3 and 3 because that's a success.
Yep.
So you're going to move 1 point over. And
Hell
you all of a
yeah.
sudden, like, you hit it with snowballs in the air, kind of knocking it off course and throwing it across the train almost over off to the edge. What's everybody else doing?
As these automatons like roll out, Chinzel has kind of like a moment of sanity, but that like kind of like flickers across her eyes and go, "Oh no, this is bad." But then the voices start again, and she's going to break out into song, because she's drifted too far to the naughty side. She's gonna break out into song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Aw.
Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. And as she does that, she wants to run over and punt one of these guys off the train.
I was just about to be like, "Oh, the vocals so sweet," and then it's just like,
It's one of the best dichotomies of this entire game.
Don't kick the baby.
So you move a point
Kick the
over to
baby.
Nice for that, and then
Yes.
you're gonna roll Naughty
Yes,
to
please.
punt them off the train.
Oh hell yeah, that's a 1.
And you were just hitting one of the guards.
Yeah, one of the weird little flick flack blocks. She's
Okay.
just going to fuck right off this train.
Yeet.
Here's the thing: you kick them.
Mhm.
Now, I believe you have gumdrops on the bottom of your feet, correct?
Yes, I do.
How did you roll?
I rolled a 1.
Okay, yeah. So you could like you hit it, and for a second, like they're going over, and it looks like you're going over, like with them, and you just like hand plant and cartwheel down their body as they plummet off the train. All of a sudden, we see like smoke and sparks just kind of erupt off the tracks. We see the entire train like shake back and forth as this thing gets run over, which is not really supposed to happen. Metal on a train track, rarely a good idea. You feel the entire train rock around as everybody shakes. Who's next?
Yeah. Snitter pulls out his the Jack in the Box. And there's we get a slight flashback to him, like, you know, back during the montage, like, you know, screwing it and stuffing some wires in and a spring here or there. And he looks up at the he engages what looks like a little thing pops out of it, and 3 laser sights come out of it. Yeah, here you go. And they go right at Flick, Flack, and Flock, Fleek being absolutely yeeted off the train. And he goes, "Hope this doesn't hurt your feelings." And then and then he and then he like starts like doing the Jack in the
Oh
Box
my God.
and explodes his 3 tasers, just like go out to all 3 of his targets.
All
I didn't
right,
set out to be a racist, Claus.
make a
but
2d6. Make a 2d6 roll for me.
facts don't care about your feelings.
Oh no. Oh,
Oh,
no.
man.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, here we go. It's 2 6s, so
Oh no.
oh no, there's critical.
Just
failures
remember,
in this game.
folks, xenophobia never pays.
Yeah,
Here-
yeah.
so
You don't want to be an automaton erasing radical humanist. Not cool.
you hit them with those tasers, and like you all of a sudden, like in that moment, like you experience another flashback to Claus school, right? And like elves are like there's an older elf teacher that's like up in the front like lecturing, and you're like zoning out and like looking around, and like it like in the background we can all hear them explaining that the emotional matrix of automatons, which when they are insulted and become enraged, that any burst of electricity will only power them up and not shut them down.
Right.
You've just turned these 3 automatons into overpowered automatons, and
Absolutely.
they have gotten their hands around you and have lifted you over their head and are walking you to the edge of the train.
Also, as that's happening, I would like to say that I have a memory. I have a memory, a deep memory,
Just
deep inside.
flashbacks within flashbacks.
Yeah. No, they picked me up, and I was like, oh, where did I go wrong? These fucking automatons. And then I think about the person who taught me how to make toys. Nicotron, the head toy making automaton, and I think about all the good times I had with him, and I realized that really I think that this hate was passed down to me. I think down there by myself, all strung out, I started listening to there's this really intense elf named Rojogan who like says a lot of intense
Oh my god.
on
Oh
and Snitters was just down in there. He was just listening to so many like super like so far like he thought he was like so intensely like human and like beyond other people's like understanding of what a person was that like it like infected his brain, and all of that washes away. And he has the thought right then that he's like, if they chuck me, I deserve it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I love this so much.
How did we get here?
I
Eviction. We
bet you're all
eviction. That's how we got here. Oh,
Excellent. All right, so y'all have seen Snitter hoisted into the air. One dog launch on the side. The entire train's been rocked back and forth. Snowbell, what do you want to do?
You said the Grunch is here, right?
The Grunch is standing in front of you, having just removed the stocking cap of stealth.
I'd like to take out both of my candy canes that I acquired at the beginning of this and full on charge the Grunch. And I want to turn the candy canes in the opposite direction that you would assume one would hold them, were they to fire off candy canes. And I would like to jump with these 2 hooks in my hands onto the back of the Grunch and hook both his cheeks and ride him around like a terrible BDSM trip gone awry.
oh no.
And I would like to, the triggers are on this end of the candy cane, and I would like to fire 2 candy cane bullets, or what do we say? Hollow point candy corn.
This is an ungodly blend of Halloween and Christmas technology.
the Tim
hollow
Burton
point candy
of
corn.
Santa-Cide weapons.
Oh no.
Yep.
What's this? What's this? I'll shoot your fucking face.
What's this?
What's this? What's this? Snitter's learning things about race. What's this?
I would just pull on the candy canes, pull the triggers, and like widen the Grunch's smile a bit, I guess.
Make a naughty roll for
me.
Naughty roll. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Yeah, tell me what horrible, grim reality this looks like as you ride the Grinch into 2 candy corn bullets placed within his dome.
Want to know how I got these scars?
Fucking polar bear jumped on me. It was crazy.
I'm riding around on him, and like the smell that I'm assuming the goo or the grease came off of this.
Yes, the oily gray peel smell.
So like as Snowbell is riding around holding on with these hooks on his mouth, just like making giving him just like this Colombian smile, like he's just and then pulls the triggers and like a Halloween pumpkin found by a pair of teens walking down the street.
Oh no.
The Grunch's head explodes, sending streamers and confetti out behind his head. The shockwave will send Snowbell flying off of the grunge and sliding across the floor on her bottom, holding 2 candy canes with singed ends at the end of the hooks.
Awesome.
Drink Coke.
So we've got the grunge has been subdued. We've got Flack, who got knocked off the train. We've got Fleek, Fleck, and Flock, who are currently about to throw Snitter off. And we've got the dog gripping to the edge of the train with its skeletal jaw. What do you, Tinsel, Vincent, Snitter, what do you want to do?
Now that I see that the dog's just kind of hanging off of the edge, I'm going to look down at it with the mistletoe. And this is where I'm going to have a flashback of rookie year and Stealth of the Shelfing, and Ramirez taking me through the ropes, you telling me about the purpose of the holidays. We're the front line to make sure that naughty kids don't get shit. And we took that very serious. And Sid was the worst of the worst. The dog didn't really do nothing. And so I am going to voluntarily move a point from naughty to nice.
Love it.
And try and get spirited. And I'm just gonna go, I could kill you right now. But that's not what Ramirez would want. Get up here, you bony son of a bitch. I'm gonna help him out.
And all of a sudden, like, as you pull it up, you actually see like fur rippling back, like up from its feet as like Christmas magic swirls around it, like back over its entire body. And by the time it like you pull it back up, it lands on top of you and just starts licking your face with like, and there's like chocolate all over its tongue that's just smearing all over you.
Oh, that's disgusting. Get the fuck off of me. Delightful.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Snitter's being held aloft by these weird little automatons, correct?
They're not. They're taller than you. They're like 5 feet tall.
Okay, here's what. First of all, like as I kicked the one, so there's the 2 left. Is there 3? Okay, she's going to turn around, and working through the. Yes, having sang through the first Christmas song, because again I'm teetering this line. She's gonna start bursting into song again. Have yourself a merry little Christmas, let your heart be light. From now on our troubles will be out of sight. And as she's doing that, she's running. She's going to remove the gumballs or the gumdrops from her feet as she's doing it very nimbly. And she's going to stuff them onto the automatons' heads and smush them together. So they are now like a weird, like, they can't see. They have gumdrops on their head. And as she does that, she's going to say, I am one with the wind, and be ready to be like blown off this train. And I would like to argue that this is a nice roll because I'm trying to save Snitter.
No, I'm 100% down with this being. Again, motivations matter tremendously here. So if this is a nice, I'm protecting my friend roll, 100% on board with that.
Okay. I'm afraid because it's not a great game. A 2 for 2. Oh God. Okay. Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Clutch.
So you successfully move a point over, and
Yes.
you jam these down. And they like start freaking out. Like 2 of them crash into the other one. Snitter plummets down. They like start like knocking into each other. Like one of them's trying to control the other one. And they like fall over the edges. They do that. Snitter collapses to the ground. And we see this explosion rock the train. We see Tinsel like start to rise up in the air, hovering above the train, like like as if they were in a wind tunnel. And as this explosion hits, it starts to force Tinsel up further and further out. Anybody want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna take off my big giant chunky belt and whip it up to like Indiana Jones her around the ankle and just snap her back down.
All right, roll it for me.
Yup. That's 4 over both my 3s. So
No.
I will give you the option to because this is certainly a nice thing for y'all to do a duet to make this happen.
Oh, baby, please come home, Christmas.
I don't know that one.
You don't know this one?
No.
No falling down, Christmas. Written by you don't know Christmas by Darlene Love, written by famous murderer Phil Spector. It's the best Christmas song ever.
Well, you could spend more time shaming Sarah for a lack of Christmas knowledge, or you could just try to figure out.
Make up words.
I just like referencing my favorite Christmas song written by famous murderer Phil Spector.
Famous murderer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but have you heard OJ Simpson's I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus?
Oh no.
That was a bop.
No. You know.
Is there a song I want to sing together?
Here, yeah, I got it. You know
Take it.
Dasher
and Dancer
and Prancer,
and Vixen
Comet
and Cupid
and Donner.
and Blitzen. He gets smokes the
But
fatties.
do you recall?
Another misunderstood fantasy creature. My heart, I'm learning so much today about not judging people based on their appearance.
Snowbell, the Snowy Ranger, works in Krampus' unit. Yeah.
And
And then
Sanders
starts-
learned about automatons and how they're
Vincent
people
learned
just
to heal
like
his inner
him.
trauma.
I would say that it's healed more than I want to focus on directly murdering people who directly hurted me.
You guys
Ho,
You
ho,
guys,
ho.
I've got tons of drugs. Let's save each other and have some hugs.
The voices are here again.
I got you.
God damn it.
So
I
you
hate
would
when
point out-
Christmas
and also,
spirit
my
takes
only
over.
goal every time we stream this game, and I think we've come closest on streams with Alex, is to always get everyone to just work into some sort of weird musical number together. And I love that it just happened without me trying to force it. Excellent. Thanks for touching that, everybody, and making one of my Christmas dreams come true.
I also reach out my other hand to brace myself to Snowbell. I whip out the belt to Tinsel in the air. No, I'm holding your hand, trying to get you to anchor me. We're all coming together and singing in song.
Oh, sorry, I'm playing my father.
We're doing like, oh my god, we all grab hands around the grunge and start singing the Who song. Doris, welcome Christmas. Fuck this guy.
So as this, there's like the train kind of like we see like it's creaking at really weird intervals. All of a sudden it like heaves into the final stop of the trip and like collapses, like things fall off the side of the train, like the bar becomes an open air facility. The Arctic Express is wrecked for right now, but y'all did make it to the launch site as you and creaked in. All of a sudden, as you do that, for no reason whatsoever, the FBI bursts out from everywhere, pointing guns at everybody.
Oh, fuck.
None of it's mine. I say, just unloading bags. Somebody asked
Vincent
for
has
this for them.
warrants.
Where's the stocking cap of stealth? We've got to get it to the big man ASAP.
Tinsel, do we have it? Tinsel will like put an arm out like towards wherever the thing is and motion to Snitter to kind of like fling her in that direction so she can snatch it while still being
happens.
attached to the belt. And she grabs it farts in it, and then hands it to the FBI.
Move a point over to Naughty.
Fucking narcs.
And as she does, as she passes it over, she just whispers, "All cops are bad." She gets like warped back over to Snitter.
They grab it and they make their way off to the launch site quickly. And about 5 minutes later, you hear a giant whoosh of Christmas spirit as the sleigh starts its 24-hour prep for launch, as y'all have successfully rescued the stocking cap of stealth and saved Christmas. Let's do a 1 week later. It's New Year's Eve. Y'all are taking it easy wherever we find you. Tell me where we find your character and how we see them living up after having been pardoned from the naughty list, put at the top of the nice list, and making it through another year in Santa's village. What do we see each of your characters doing to relax?
I'd like to go.
Go for it.
So what we see is just a mild-mannered house, and a gentleman comes home from work. He's in his dirty green overalls, and he just sits down to turn his TV on. He's got a beer by his side, and he's got his remote. He turns the TV on, but it doesn't turn on. And then he gets up and he bangs the side of the TV to try and get it on. And then we just hear, "You still don't know how to treat your things, do you?" And he looks, and the first thing he sees is Scud, the dog, just kind of growling at him. And Vincent is sitting at his kitchen table with the mistletoe and a shot of vodka. "I'm going to tell you how this works out. We're going to play a game, you and I. If I win, you lose. If you win, you live. How would you like to play?" And then I'm just going to roll a couple of dice. There's a red one for him and a blue one for me. And my dice comes up the higher number, and I go, "Oh, naughty." And then I just shoot him in the head with the mistletoe.
And we see like red and white snow smash against the camera. All right, who's next?
I'll go. Once again, put on the nice list. Tinsel then once again qualifies for company benefits and is able to start to go to therapy. We see her sitting in a waiting room with a list of the Bill of Rights of what she is as entitled to as a person, and she's reading through it. I'm entitled to express my own feelings. She just kind of sits there waiting for her appointment with Mrs. Claus, where she kind of hops off the chair and walks in and starts to learn that the only list she needs to be on is her own, and people's perception of herself says more about their naughty status than it does about hers. And she continues to self-improve in that way.
Love it.
You're muted, my butt guy.
Snitters has had a busy week. Snitters has realized that that because of his trauma with the Tickle Me Elmo dolls, he had been projecting robot Tickle Me Elmo status onto automatons and feeling horrible for having done that for years. He's opened up essentially not a soup kitchen, but an oil kitchen, right? So he's taken his toy making skills and he's thrown that open, and he's helping all the automatons in Christmas Village. He's getting everybody in working order, giving everybody a bunch of oil baths, and he's tightening up parts, and you see just a montage of him opening up chests. So it's just all Jordy and Data sort of moves, right? He's just helping people out and fixing things, and you see him like chatting, gabbing, and laughing it up while he's got like wires sticking out of one guy's head, and he's like like heaves a huge sigh of relief. We see him come back to his house one day, and yeah, he sits down after a long day of helping out and working in his oil kitchen, and he takes a little like kill switch looking thing out of his pocket, and it says "just in case" on it, and he tucks it back in and heaves a big sigh and puts his feet up and turns on the television to I don't know. Listen, he cranks up a remix of his own Christmas hits and sparks a fatty.
As the gentle scent of cinnamon smoke and gingerbread waves through the air.
And then he takes out a top and spins it on the table, and it looks like it's about to maybe, but then he pulls away.
It floats out the window and across the tundra up to Snowbell. Snowbell, what do we see as our closing scene?
Snowbell goes through like the montage. She's turning in her 2 candy canes and her badge at the Krampus desk at headquarters. She then joins 2 elves who walk her outside on either side, flanking her. And they bring her to a soft slope down the snow. One elf hands Snowbell a red and white scarf, which she promptly throws around her neck. And the other elf hands her a Santa hat, which she kind of places atop her head. It doesn't quite fit, but it's fine. And as they make their way over to like the embankment across the snow, down at the bottom of this slope, you see a group of polar bears, all wearing red scarves and Santa hats, enjoying next to an open cooler several bottles of glass bottle Coca-Colas. One of the elves will turn to look at Snowbell.
Congratulations, Snowbell. You've made it to the Giants League now. Enjoy your retirement.
And she sits on the ledge of the snowbank and slides down and does like a short little spiral and kind of bumps into the cooler. The other polar bears look to her and hand her a glass bottle. She takes it and says, takes a soft, long pull and smiles as the camera just pans out and away.
Coca-Cola paid big money for that product placement, so I'm glad we got it in. Awesome. Hey, thanks y'all so much for playing. So we always do a thing called a reaction roll at the end, but I want to give a chance before we do that. Do you want to take a 5-minute break, or do you want to sit and chat about the game for like 15 minutes and then be done?
I'm good to react. How about y'all?
I'm chill.
Yeah. I
Cool.
would love this.
Cool. I just want to make sure I gave everybody a chance. We're going to do Reaction Roll. Reaction Roll is a live stream within a live stream. It's our chance to sit down and talk about a game that we just played with the creator, but in this case, that feels like cheating because it happens to be me. Today, we are talking about the Santa-Cide Squad, which is the first game I ever technically released. It's not the first game I designed, but it is the first one I put up on itch.io a year ago. It is a game about denizens of the North who are a ragtag group of misfits toys, a bunch of cotton-headed ninny muggins who are also our last best chance to save Christmas. It's a honey heist hack, which means you have 2 stats and things kind of float back and forth between them. And I had a blast running it, especially this being the first time I got to stream in like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, because I've been sick. But I want to thank everybody for playing with us, and I would love to hear who each of y'all are, but also what it was like to play Honey Heist. Let's go in a completely different order than we've gone so far. Let's start with our Alex Murray, one of my top 26 favorite Alex Murrays. Alex, tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you online, but also what it was like to play Santa-Cide Squad. Not for the first time. This is your return.
No, I played last year.
Squad.
I played a giant 6-legged polar bear last year. I'm Alex. I'm a Brooklyn-based actor, comedian, podcaster, children's entertainer, jack of many nonsenses. I'm at our Alex Murray all over the internet. I've got a bunch of podcasts. They're all fun. Check out the Missing Sock Podcast Network, of which I am the artistic director. Man, I did not think I would dig myself into such a touchy character growth arc on this one, but
a lot of complexity.
you know?
You're like, I want to fix robots, but I hate automatons. Like, there's a weird line there for you.
It's nuts, man. Like it's intense. He's got a lot of stuff that he's working through, I guess. You know, there was some stuff there, man. Some trauma. He had some things go very, very wrong. Tickle Me Elmo did a lot of damage. This was a blast, man. Thanks y'all for sticking with me too. I know the three of my other fellow players have played with each other a whole bunch of times. Played with each other. And man, it's nice when you come in like real insane and sort of overly horny and deranged, and everybody's like, yeah, for sure, let's do that.
Yeah.
Get in here, man. Get in here.
Hey, you're super seen. Welcome to the Suicide Squad. She plays with that.
Same but different. Come on.
Yeah. I love it, man. So
I mean, if anything, let's get grosser.
Man, that was a really good time too. I also love, like, it's my favorite too, like anytime you're playing, because I'm a comedian and a podcaster before I'm like a ttrpg like nerd. The ones that are super rules light, it's just like, yeah, let's see how many eggnog jokes we can make. This was a blast. I think we might have gotten stuck in that one car forever if Tony hadn't been like, y'all leave. Like there's a guy coming down. You've got to leave.
Out of there.
We did all. We were
We're
drowning in
having
the.
fun.
Yeah, we were having fun, but we were also at one point. There was a moment when all of a sudden, like, I'm recovering from COVID. Tony's recovering from COVID. Everybody's sick. Everybody's tired, and we were about to go down like Artax in the swamp of sorrow in the minute for in that second train car, man.
So what a reference, though.
I love
Yikes, my millennial heart.
So I love that is where Snowball, where Bright took that.
Yeah.
So anytime I am running the train heist version of Santa-Cide Squad, so you roll for whatever the location is, your primary location, and I love when I roll Arctic Express because I love the train heist aspect of it. There's a game by Alexi Sargent of Cloven Pine Games called it is not. Alexi, if you're watching this, I love you. It's not my favorite name because it's called The Great Soul Train Robbery, and all I can think about is Soul Train whenever that name comes up. But it's this really great. It's also a two-stack game. It's Saint and Sinner. It makes heavy use of motifs, which I do a lot in my games, and there's a lot of moral reflection in that, which provides great impetus for flashbacks. And so when Bright took it right to, like, you can hear the sound of in desperation of your heart, I was like, oh, that's dark, and I love it. And I love that we're gonna get
real
drop,
nightmare before Christmas.
Drop
Eve.
that right in there,
kind of my vibe.
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of, like, Trading Places is maybe my favorite Christmas movie, frankly. Like, I really love like the dark, weird, intense, the people that get left outside of it, man. And like, yeah, this is good for that.
Yeah. And like Suicide Squad concepts, like, not every character, and some of them are just comic relief or just there to kill things or whatever, but like the introspection that a lot of the characters get to do on past wrongs as they go through that is really cool. And so, like I said, every time we've played this, it's mostly been like, hey, here's a lot of claymation stuff with some like heist stuff thrown in, but the actual like heavier vibes that come from a Suicide Squad portion of the design ethos, like, oftentimes get lost. So it was cool.
We got there.
Y'all
I
brought
think
those.
we found it.
Y'all dragged those out, and we're like, look at this.
I think we were there as soon as Sarah was yelling at, like, a chalk outline of herself on the wall.
This is my favorite part of the whole
Wasn't
stream.
near
Is
you.
the smiley face. All right, we're gonna do this.
That is a great
fuck.
transition. Let's kick it up to Tinsel the Elf. Sarah, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also what it was like to play Santa-Cide Squad.
So hi, I'm Osarix Franco. You can find me Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the places at Osarix Franco. If you like my face and the words I say sometimes. I'm on a variety of TTRPG content on a variety of channels, TBK Roleplay being one of them. You can also find me in Nat 20, Critical Misses, and Neon Lights Roleplay. For now, the big thing that I will hype, because 3 of us on the stream are a part of it, is The Last Time Around, a gritty retelling of the Curse of Strahd module over on Nat 20. We are playing the last 2 moments of the overture before launching the actual campaign on the 30th and then again on the 1st. So come check that out if you're down for the dark, gritty vibes, because that shit's gonna get real. So come check that out, and then keep an eye on my Twitter for all the other stuff. As for my thoughts on the game, I'm a sucker for Honey Heist and games that are very straightforward. Like, you want to do this, it's this or this, and then you have to kind of balance the mechanics of what you're doing. I love a system that's light, easy to pick up, and just encourages hijinks. This is definitely that, with the seasonal aspect of it thrown in. I like was scanning through and seeing all the different tables you could roll on for different items and everything, and it's all genius. And I had a lot of fun just kind of goofing and doing like whatever buck wild thing popped into my head. It was great. It was great.
Awesome. Do you have any questions or anything else that you want to ask? I didn't ask Alice that, but he knows the deal.
I don't know enough about games to ever ask questions.
He's always like, nope.
So I do have a question. So what made you make this particular? Because it is such a like a combination. It's Christmas, it's Suicide Squad, it's hijinks, it's like all of these things coming together. What was the thing that sparked your creativity to say, I'm gonna make this?
I'd never done a hack. We were getting ready to release our freshman game, which is called Beards and Beyond, which is about people with beards adventuring beyond time and space. Was just like getting ready to release that, wanted to put something out in the meantime. Christmas was coming up. We had just started releasing content on the channel, and I was like, I should put out a little game, just something that's fun. And I was like, I had played Alexi's Honey Heist hack, which is way more extensive than a lot of other ones. I love Honey Heist also, too. I think it's a phenomenal system and a lot of fun and easy to play. And I was just like somebody was posting out about like you have two stats, and I was like, oh man, naughty and nice are such two perfect stats. Like, what if we just toss that in? And then I was like, hey, I want to do something different. I wanted heist. I love heisty stuff, and so I was like, the Honey Heist was just kind of the perfect template for that. And then it was going back through and deconstructing what are some of my favorite Christmas tropes? What are some of the things that people always debate around Christmas tropes? I loved those dumb claymation movies coming up. They're so gonzo and bizarre.
Same.
So good.
The Rudolph and like the Year Without a Santa Claus, all of those like are huge
the fact,
classics.
the weird way that TikTok
year.
has taken to Snow Miser and Heat Miser.
Yes, it's amazing.
That's my
it's
favorite
so
one
good.
too, and
So,
I love it.
So good.
I wish they would stop.
Well, I
making
look
them.
like Kris Kringle, like. So
So
or
making
Yukon
them fucking
Cornelius,
fine.
depending on what colored hat I'm
Yukon.
wearing.
Yeah, no, it's just like that's it's such a like intrinsic part of like the season for me. So getting to like play with like you had Hermie at the beginning, and I'm like, it's Hermie. Like I knew.
Right. Yeah. Hermie having grown up having a dental practice at the village, but also having to be like the Q of like felt like very right.
Amazing.
Like, we're not going to let you can have a dental practice, but also you're our Q.
Let's be independent together. It's just very good.
And so that's like mixing the bright hope of like those claymation movies, which also then get very dark at certain points in time also too, with the very dark themes of like Santa-Cide Squad, Italian Job, other things like that, where it's like, okay, this is always the reverse heist, because that was the other conceit. It's like we're getting something back that was stolen, is another thing. So there's a lot of like complex narrative pieces, but like it was a great time to say, here's a bunch of things that play around in this weird space of desperation and hope, and there's this genre of Christmas films that do that. And what if your two stats for naughty and nice?
So good.
Did the name come up early or late in that creative
very
process?
early.
Okay,
if
because
you
I
know
feel like
anything
once
about
you've
me,
got that in your head, you're like, it really.
And if
it
you
says it
read
all.
this, like, because Santa-Cide Squad, I very rarely am this humble. Sorry, no, I'm very rarely this self-critical. I'm incredibly vain. Is not like, it's not a descriptively like everybody you get what it's about by the name. Technically though, the name would be about killing Santa, right? Like and so it's not
right.
but like the concept of just flipping that around and being like, this is Santa's like, we're gonna turn a blind eye and let you do whatever you need to do to get the job done, like was just too fun to pass up. And that immediately throws Suicide Squad vibes in the mix. And so it was like, I want a group that just basically is like, we have freedom to not give a shit anymore. And at the end of the day, it's going to work out well for us if we survive. You know, like that, it was just a lot of really fun stuff coming together. But yeah, the name, the two stats, and then again, from there, it was just like, like I had never watched the original Die Hard until I started writing this game. Like I'd seen like the follow-up ones, which we can debate the Christmas movie or not. It doesn't matter.
Oh god.
Because
Please, can we not? Can we not?
No, I'm saying it's such a great insert into this game to have like Nakatomi Plaza, like and throw in like
That's where I played last year. It was awesome.
Like we went to Nakatomi Plaza last year. And
Amazing.
So good.
it wasn't Hans, but it was something Gruber was the bad guy, and we definitely got the satisfying scene. And he was like cloning like evil versions of like polar cryptids and trying to unleash them on the world. It was very very different plot, but you still get to hit all the different beats. If there's a Christmas party and you've got to
and it was tower infiltration, which is the fun thing. Is
Right.
like a train. What are the other ones that you've got for people that are watching?
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh.
tower infiltration, and there's a train. And,
So there's 6 things that can be stolen, which are all different Santa things except for Rudolph's nose and Mrs. Claus. Which is not to put. She's very tough in all of these things. She's not a damsel in distress at all. The item is being held at, and there's like a modifier, so like decrepit, breathtaking, high tech, whatever. And then South Pole Military Facility, the Arctic Express, Nakatomi Plaza, the Christmas Cookie Gala, a castle in the Alps, a small town with Christmas in the name. And one of the modifiers is a Hallmark movie-esque. And that is potentially one of my favorite ones to land on because like this was a luxury Arctic Express, but like Hallmark movie-esque anything, the meet cute narratives that come up.
Oh my God, Emily, I haven't seen you since high school. Weird.
are so excellent. Anyways, yeah, a lot of fun genre deconstruction happening in the whole thing too. But yeah.
Very good.
Snow, how about you?
Oh shit.
Who are you?
So hi, I'm Bright. You can find me on all forms of social media, predominantly at Twitter and Twitch at Bright Dystopia. Again, I am a Jasper's Game Day ambassador, a voiceover actor, and a pro GM for Magpie Games. You can also find me over at magpiegames.com/games/bright. And you can sign up for one of my games. I run a lot of stuff in the Avatar universe, and soon we'll be running stuff in the Urban Shadows universe, just because I love Urban Shadows. And I love Chicago. And like Noir, I'm from there, bitch. So
gang. Every day, got it on the cup. That's how you know it's real.
I did spend the day looking up best Chicago deep dish places in Philadelphia, which is not an easy thing to do because I also have standards. But here's the real question that I got to ask: what's your favorite deep dish pizza place in Chicago?
depends on what kind of deep dish you're looking for, homie.
Oh, that is the correct answer. No, just personal preference. Like here's the one I love to hit.
Rainbow of deep dish. I'll let Noir answer that one first, though.
Oh, really? So you can jack on my ass? No, I'm kidding. I'm a basic bitch. I love me some Geno's. Lou's got really good butter crust, but the Geno sauce is where it's at, and they give you fat peppers. I get peppers on my shit. It's so good.
I'm a little bit more basic, I think, because I like Giordano's the most for like their standard. For like the standard deep dish, because it's like
consistent too. Like it's super consistent.
Yeah, and it's basically pizza lasagna. It's fucking delicious.
Look, let's not support that because that's how they insult us.
Listen, but
you deserve it.
Giordano's specifically
16-inch New York slice, Brooklyn, baby.
Look,
yeah.
Oh no!
I'm a
I
big
didn't
fan
ask
of
about New York pizza for a reason. You shut your mouth.
Alex, I will tell you this right now. Noir and I were this close at one point to starting a show where we would invite guests and then just harangue them about not being from Chicago. That is a fight you do not want to start.
You'd have a whole bunch of
these
guests
two.
that don't give a shit. Everybody on your show would be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We hear you. Yes, middle brother. Yeah, you did a great job. You did a great job, middle brother, on your book report. Cool.
Hey, you know what? Awesome. You ain't gotta care. We gotta care. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Chicago. Is like we could be yelling at you, and you can be like, "Well, this is dumb," but we're enjoying it. Like we enjoy the hate. Like hate makes us happy.
What's more is the less you care, that means the spicier we're allowed to get with our bullshit.
Exactly. So it's just like, oh snap! I get to say some shit that really hurts your feelings. I
I have never gotten a good pizza from Gino's East Side. Only East, like all the other Gino's I've gotten I've had a fine experience at. Or pizzas haven't been from East Side. I like Lou's. I like Giordano's for consistency. Pequod's is probably my favorite though.
Pequod's is fantastic.
It's the caramelization of Pequod's that I just love. And so yeah, I'm understanding it's what you're looking for. Like I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum.
I'm all about yucking people's yum.
Yeah.
I do love.
Yeah,
You tell me what your yum is so I can yuck it.
Yeah, let me get my yuck in there. With that said, Bright, what was it like to play Santa-Cide Squad?
So I've played games like this before with like the two stat system. I love them because it turns tabletop games into something Sarah said on her show Murder and Coffee. It's just fucking around with your friends. I'm in. I'm so in. So like games like this really open up the bullshit door. Like I get to speak truth into the universe and you just have to deal with it. And I love playing games like that. Especially when we get to play in universes like, Santa's Workshop, because like the desire to just bring dark into it, so big. And like it's just good. Like it's a fun game. Like and I enjoyed the I opened up your 4-page doc and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a character. I'm gonna learn these rules because every other stream I've come to, I was like, I don't know the fucking rules. And I'm just gonna wing it. You need to know the rules. I need to know how to be a character. And that's all I've ever done. But this time I opened up the book and I was just like, okay, bear, snowbell, cryptid, this, and I'm done. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just obsess about my character now until it's time to play.
I picked the right moment to put in the work because there wasn't a lot.
It was real good. Setting it up was super easy. And then I guess my one question to you would be, what is your favorite trope in like the Christmas universe?
Rank your babies.
My favorite one in play really is, and my goal is always to push people's naughty as high as possible, which is easy to do in the game. But
I was sitting at 1 for like the last 3 quarter of that game, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll get like the goody elf, especially if somebody rolls rookie. Lots of times that's like the goody like player. Like they'll keep their nice pretty high. I really love the 2 tropes that I didn't do a good job with one of them this time, but my favorite trope in the game is forcing people into singing Christmas music in order to do something. Like it is a fun part of it from a streaming perspective. It's a fun part of it from a table perspective. But especially when you can get numerous people singing it, like it's always a win. Like there's a little bit of human reality that just like comes across there, which I do think is very evocative of why, even if you're not religious, like Christian, like Christmas, like is such an important time of year because there is a desire when it's cold outside, when it's dark outside, for us to find moments of light, warmth, and human connection. And so like, as dumb as it may seem, like that's a trope I like triggering. The other one is I love flashback foreshadowing and things like that. Lots of times I'll do in media res or do some other things like that. I love the sideways shots. Anytime we can do like a scene of flashback, that's usually a favorite table moment for me in play, and I like games that open that up a whole lot more, and like a lot of Honey Heist games do. For whatever reason, playing Santa-Cide Squad, for that the flashback montages get triggered a whole lot more regularly than almost any other Honey Heist hack that I've played, where it's like, I'm going to flashback on that. I'm going to flashback inside that flashback, and this is what's happening inside the flashback of the flashback that just happened. Like, no other Honey Heist hack have I played do we see that type of multiple flashback, and that's one of my favorite kind of heist tropes. But I love, like, Christmas movies are usually also about the person out of place, which I think is like, whether they're like in Christmas land and have to deal with it, or whether they're like an elf type character, or like a Will Ferrell's elf character buddy, where they're like, now like the person out of place is one of my favorite tropes, because it just, I think most people feel that way a lot of the time, especially at the holidays when you're maybe spending time with people who you are attached to for one reason or another, but aren't necessarily your people all the time. And so I think there's something about that is is really fun also too, that again you find in a lot of like what you find in the Suicide Squad also. It's just a bunch of people who don't have people thrown together. And so I don't know, is that a good answer?
Yeah, totally. Also, thanks for running this game, because this was
Yeah.
It was a blast.
fucking
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you. Noir, hit it.
Hello. All right. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do an outro. I'm good at this. All right. Hi everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm the producer for Rivals of Waterdeep. And I can announce now that I am in a Fear Itself podcast with Brutal Dan, Gnome, Bree, and just a wonderful squad of people. So I'm super duper excited about that. Now, as for this game, I loved it. This was really fun. I'm usually a little wary with games where it's just like you roll who you are, but I also kind of like it because you have to figure out who the character is, which is the most pretentious thing I've said all day, other than can I get a little bit more foam on my mocha? But I do like having to find out who the gooey center of a character in like a really just fast-paced game is, especially when there's Christmas hijinks that are going on. So yeah, this was a ball. Everybody brought it. If I ever hear Bright make that bear noise again in person, I'm gonna beat him the fuck up.
I'm gonna come up right behind you when you're waiting in line. I'm just gonna get real close to your ear and just go.
Don't do that. I can't think when I'm aroused. But
Wanna fuck?
like I have only ever played three like games like this before. I played Honey Heist. I played like the Raccoon Fast and Furious one, and I played like Kobolds Ate My Baby. Yeah. And this I really dug this one. This was super fun. I would definitely play this again. This is I feel like, and I don't like, I mean this as an absolute compliment. This is a game that is fun while streaming, but it would be amazing off stream and drunk with friends. Like yes. the mechanics here just lend to just wilding out. So yeah. Also, I'm a little sauce now, and I can confirm it is fun to play while sauce. So that is my review.
Awesome. Do you have any questions?
Fun while drunk. Hooray.
Any questions? Do you ever plan to make an expansion on this, or to continue it in any other way?
So probably there's a lot of things we've added in that aren't on the roll chart. So we'll probably make a Santa-Cide squad too, which we just crowdsource because it's a really fun game to be like, this exists. What do we want extra of? But my actual real desire, which we just didn't get around to this year because we're got a lot going on. I want to do a print version, but I want to do a print version where it's Christmas cards, where like you show like where you can mail out like to 6 of your friends. Here's the character rules and the character sheet. You roll it up, you bring it out, you put the card on the table in front of you. That's your character. All of a sudden, GM's got a little card also too that they're rolling on, and that's the thing. But that if I was going to upgrade this game in one way, that's what I actually want to do with it. My kids did all the art on this version of it.
The art's amazing. The art's amazing.
Really?
I was scoping through it. It's amazing.
That is adorable.
So they are high schoolers. So it is. You can
still
picture
so
them as
cute.
adorable as you want, but
it's still adorable.
Yeah, I love working with my I have 3 kids who are very artistic. The original deal with this game last year was I will pay you all of the money that we make on it. I will pay you at least this much money, and then all of the money that we make this year on it. I didn't break even until this year, but like the it's always nice to be able to not only say like, hey, I want to work with you, but like also to showcase to my kids like, hey, like here's what it's like when you have a conversation with somebody about working with them on a project. Like, here are questions you should ask. Here are expectations they should be able to have of you. I will yell at you about deadlines. No, I'm just kidding. Like all kind of stuff. But one of my kids did some concept work and then accidentally erased it, and the other kid came back behind them and did line work and some other stuff like that and finished it up. And Johnny just helped lay it all out, our graphic designer on staff. And so but it was a really fun thing to put together. And yeah, I haven't ever played it in person because it's been entirely during COVID that we've been playing it. And so like I would love to see what people do around their tables. And but I will also, I've been drunk numerous times while running this game, and it's
It's
just as
fun
enjoyable.
this way.
And
You
so-
make mistakes.
Fun. You make mistakes.
But yeah, I would love to do a couple more pieces that are, especially now with like Suicide Squad 2 coming out, as well as, or the new Suicide Squad, whatever. And then with like going back and like really digging deeper into some of the actual like claymation stuff and pulling out like a little bit more like Island of Misfit toys and some of the other pieces
Yes.
like that, and building some of
Yes.
those pieces out. I would love to tear that up. I also just kind of palmed off like Hallmark Christmas stuff because I don't watch any of that stuff. Like I watch the trailers for them because I'm like, what people from my childhood are starring in this one who I haven't seen in 10 or 15 years because they haven't worked. Like that's a fun thing for me to watch the trailer of a Christmas, like a Hallmark Christmas movie, and find out. But I don't watch them, and I have like 3 or 4 friends who are obsessed with them. And
I
actually,
have to tell you, after hearing like Buddy here talking about listening to all of Kids Bop, I'm kind of tempted to watch like all of like the God's Not Dead movies just to really put myself through the
Yeah,
ringer.
man, it's a fun thing to do. That would be nut. Like a
Let's
Hallmark
just
Christmas
watch
movie
the Kevin
podcast.
Sorbo filmography. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh
God.
no! Oh no!
Kevin Sorbo.
Oh no!
The Kevin
Oh,
Sorbo
no,
cinematic
no.
universe. Let's go.
Yikes! Big yikes!
Oh, thank you. We're good.
the
But
That dude
myself
does
now.
not
I'm
think
sorry.
automatons are people.
and I will say, when I started doing this, the two options in my brain for last year were like, I could make a very simple like 1 or 2 page Hallmark movie RPG generator, or I could make the Santa-Cide Squad.
This is better.
This was a better choice for 2 reasons. One, I love it, and it turned out great. And 2, I didn't have to watch any Hallmark Christmas movies to
There
do
you go.
research.
There you go.
A shout out to my friend Will Lintz, who has a game up called Warmer in Winter. And so if you want that other option, there's a zine length game that is the Hallmark Christmas movie game called Warmer in Winter. It's meet cutes and a bunch of other stuff. You can go check it out over on a bunch of places. But no, thank you all so much for playing with this. I had a
Thank you for
blast.
having us.
Y'all are all
Awesome.
welcome back on anytime. I'll drop y'all invites to the +1 Discord, which in the new year we'll be opening up the Discord, which we mostly use at this point for scheduling games, creative work that we do, on game projects, other stuff like that. We're going to be moving some stuff around. We'll be opening that up to the public. So if you're out there watching right now and you want to hop in, let us know. If you're a streamer who ever wants to appear on Stream With Us, we'd love to have you. We do one-shots with the designers for the most part right now. In the new year, we are going to be working on a couple of short series and other pieces like that, just 3 to 6 episodes in length, so we can dive a little bit deeper into systems. We're looking to bring on new voices to host and help with tech, host more community conversations. So if you're interested in any of that, let me know. The only thing we might do before New Year's right now is we may try to get Mads on sometime this week from TPK Roleplays Top
Do
Shelf
it.
to run one of their horror games with us if we can, because nothing says 2022 is coming like a horror game. And so
Indeed.
with that said, you can find us at +1EXP across all social media platforms. If you want to help support the channel, the best way to do that is to go buy this game right now. In all honesty, it's a great way to do it. But the other thing that you can do is go to kofi.com/+1EXP, become a content champion, and help support the channel in an ongoing way. We help small and emerging creators create great content that helps showcase their games. If you want to help us do that, let us know, and you can check out all of our that's 2020 part 2. I will tell you, there is one of our early streams is us playing Santa-Cide Squad the eve before New Year's in 2020, at the end of 2020, and a villain that I added in just for that stream was Father Time for year 2020 trying to not let the year end by soaking up
Oh my
all the
God.
things. And we just
You
slow.
did it.
It was also a train heist. We slow played it the whole way through. There was this weird consultant on site. Santa's sack was missing, and he was soaking up misery inside of it, trying to
inside
keep
Mrs.
himself from
Claus's
dying
purse.
and being reborn.
God damn it, Bright.
Big red cup. What?
With that said, we don't have a good way that we close streams out. We're just going to wave at the camera until I take us off here. Bye, everybody.
Happy
Merry
holidays,
Christmas. Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Have a nice sleep. Santa's gonna look at you. Weird.
Listen to the next episode of Flo Flogan.
Oh no.